if you never need care.
Before you find yourself on the wrong side of that statistic, learn about your options at 525longtermcare.com, 525longtermcare.com to get the date of the next webinar, or join Brian every Saturday morning at 8 for Long-Term Care Radio right here on KOA.
This report is sponsored by Arroyo Grande with Raymond Arroyo.
Sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. High temperatures in the middle 90s with light and variable winds. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Meteorologist Greg Perez.
I'm Raymond Arroyo. I'd like to invite you to my new podcast, Arroyo Grande. Discover life lessons, practical advice, and inspiring examples to live by as I sit with celebrities and thought leaders you'll absolutely love. Listen to Arroyo Grande wherever you get your podcasts.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on the free iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. In Texas, hopes are dimming for finding any survivors of the devastating flooding, but searchers like Ryan Loge are still combing the banks of the Guadalupe River.
We're out there early and we're out there till we're falling over. When you looked at these guys, we're exhausted. They were emotionally tired by looking at the devastation, finding children's Bibles on the ground, looking through people's wreckage of their life. It takes a toll on you.
104 people were killed, many more missing. President Trump threatening to impose higher tariffs on more than a dozen countries, including Japan and South Korea, if trade deals cannot be reached by August 1st. The president holding his first cabinet meeting this hour without Elon Musk. The administration announcing a plan to secure U.S. farmland and farmers from nations like China having a stake in U.S. farming production. Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins says she's already canceled several contracts. The TSA about to announce taking your shoes off will no longer be required at checkpoints. This is ABC News. The White House sending letters out to more than a dozen countries, telling them they must agree to trade deals with a Trump administration or face much stiffer tariffs, 25% for Japan and North Korea. ABC's Rachel Scott with more from Washington.
The president writing, the United States will perhaps consider an adjustment to this letter. These tariffs may be modified upward or downward, depending on our relationship with your country. Those tariffs were scheduled to go into effect tomorrow, but the president pushing it back until August 1st and signaling to reporters that date may change too.
No, I would say firm, but not 100% firm.
The Trump administration pledged to get 90 trade deals done in 90 days.
The most active volcano in Indonesia erupting, sending a column of superheated gas and ash as high as 11 miles into the sky, more than twice as high as the cruising altitude for commercial jetliners. At least 5 flights between Australia and Bali had to be canceled, but so far no reports of any casualties. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
President Trump's newly signed spending law is expected to create major funding challenges for Colorado, especially for Medicaid. State officials warn the cuts could leave hundreds of thousands without coverage and force Colorado to absorb more costs, including enforcing new work requirements. Estimates suggest the state could lose about $500 million in revenue each year and face similar added expenses. Governor Polis is considering a special legislative session to address the impacts. The hot weather continuing today along the Front Range. We could see triple digits tomorrow.
Temperatures return into the middle 90s under mostly sunny skies. We do have a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Mostly clear skies overnight. Overnight lows drop back down into the upper 50s and lower 60s. As far as tomorrow goes, it is going to be a scorcher, nearing 100 degrees under mostly sunny skies.
That's Fox 31 meteorologist Greg Perez. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
From the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by YRefi.com.
Okay, I got one accident that's still clearing I-70 westbound at Kipling. They actually just moved that to the shoulder. We've had it back up to Wadsworth, and I-76 has been jammed a little bit too, but looks a little bit better on speed, starting to pick up a bit. 270 is running a little heavy out of Commerce City. I-25 coming south into downtown, as well as up out of the Tech Center. 225 around Parker and into the foothills. Still seeing some slowdowns to the bottom of Floyd Hill and out of Idaho Springs, both east and west on I-70 due to rock scaling, but the highway is open right now. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Is private student loan debt ruining your life? It doesn't have to. YRefi refinances private student loans that others won't touch, and they don't care what your credit score is. Just go to YRefi.com. That's YREFY.com.
Buy and Build is celebrating 20 years in business. Hi, this is Courtney Pierce, president of Buy and Build Kitchen and Bath. That's right, we've been saving people of Denver thousands of dollars on kitchen and bathroom cabinets for 20 years. We have in-stock kitchen and bathroom cabinets, countertops, sinks, faucets, and more, all for the best prices in the country. With 20 years of experience, you can feel confident that we will help you design the perfect kitchen and save you thousands. Come visit our showroom at 560 South LaPan Street in Denver. That's 560 South LaPan Street, or online at buyandbuild.net.
Auto accident? Get the right lawyer on your side. Call Fuller.com. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I've seen the wrong way to sell precious metals. Tangled necklaces, mismatched earrings, broken watches, coins. The wrong way is not knowing who you can trust. That's why I recommend David Ellis Jewelry on 3rd and Clayton. He'll weigh it and pay it. He'll even buy your fine jewelry and diamonds. I've known him 40 years. It's time you get to know him. 2640 East 3rd Avenue. That's 3rd and Clayton. 303-322-8779. 322-8779.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Are you ready to hear something that will not only make you feel better, but will actively excite you?
Okay.
Yes!
This is Denver's talk station. 630 KHOW. An iHeartRadio station.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Who you gonna call? Someone lied to you, cheated you, ripped you off, exaggerated sales claims. Who you gonna call? The police? Come on. The DA? Come on. The Attorney General? Come on. They all do their part. Better Business Bureau? They keep track of it. But where are you going to get the action from the Troubleshooter? We're talking about 45 years in Denver, more than 50 years if you count other places. The longest running radio show, still on the air with the same host. And thank God I'm alive. Thank you. And we're here to help you. So all you have to do, it's very simple. If you're tuning in for the first time, by the way, I have a special prize for you. If you, honest to God, are listening for the first time, I'm going to send you something. I'm going to send you some kind of schmooze stuff. I'm going to send you something. I'm not sure just yet what it is, but I'm going to send you something. So anyway, welcome. And we are here to help you solve. Let me cut that off. Okay. Solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. And Logan started his problem aptly on Car Day, I believe it was, Friday. No, excuse me. It was yesterday. It was Monday. He had a problem. And I want to ask our Deputy D, because he was here and took that call with them. Deputy D, can you tell me what is going on with that?
Yeah, Tom, Logan called us just as the show was about to end yesterday, and he's got a very interesting problem. He's got about a 4-year-old Chevy Tahoe that spent most of the time this year in the shop for what sounds like dozens and dozens of problems. Now, the most interesting part of what Logan told us is that a few months ago, GM had actually agreed to repurchase the vehicle. And I found that to be kind of very curious because it's, as you know,
did he go through the AutoCap program or anything?
I don't know. We didn't get that far because we only had a couple of minutes before the show ended. But I thought that was very interesting because, as you can tell, the lemon buyback period is long, come
That's
and
right.
gone.
You're right.
So, Logan, now I know that yesterday you came with a huge laundry list of all kinds of problems. And I was wondering if you could kind of summarize this for Tom, because he wasn't here for yesterday's show. But
where does it stand right now, Zos?
Yeah, we don't need to hear about all the dozens of repairs.
Right.
We just want to hear about what repairs are left to be completed, but more importantly, where does it stand with GM? How did they come about to offer to buy the car back from you, and where does it stand now?
Yeah, did you say it was purchase used, right?
New. Yeah, brand new.
Logan, this was purchase used, right?
He bought it brand new.
Oh, brand new.
Brand new.
So you've been fighting this thing for 4 years.
Yeah.
And what is it? Just a lemon? I mean, if you lose use of that car for cumulative 30 days, or it might have changed, but in any case, there's a cumulative total that if you lose use of it, you get another car. Or I mean, you have to go through the program.
It was 21 days, but I'm at 96 days and nothing's happened.
Okay, but why haven't you filed or gotten an attorney and filed under the lemon law?
I honestly was trying to give them time to resolve it with all of the problems during COVID and procurement of material. I get that there's delays. It happens in my industry all the time. But yeah, zero communication at this point. No clear path forward.
Yeah.
Car still doesn't work.
Very, very frustrating, I can see. Very, very frustrating. So where does it stand? Let's just take it right now. D, you asked him to sum up where it is today?
Yeah, Logan, if you could tell us just very briefly, how many problems are still unresolved? And even more importantly,
as of the last communication I received, they had ordered yet another wiring harness. No specifics on which one that is, but this is the 8th one they've tried. And
is that right now the remaining nagging problem? Is the wiring? Is that where we are right? Have we narrowed it down, or are you just having a plethora? So not a plethora. You're having specific problems with the wiring harness, and they just can't seem to get it right.
Oh, it definitely was a plethora. I mean, the oil pan gasket blew out, a multitude of problems. This is just the one that they seem unable to resolve.
Okay, so right now, what are the symptoms of that problem they cannot resolve? What are the symptoms?
The instrument cluster in the dash is intermittently failing.
Have you ever tried going somewhere else other than warranty? Yep. You have. Because there are places that specialize in these instrument clusters, and we have our own Kevin Calkin at Sheridan Autotech that do electrical issues. So where have you gone outside, and what have they told you?
So I briefly took it to Johnson Auto Plaza. The problem is I took it right back. This is before the electrical problems, because they told me I had purchased all of the warranty through AutoNation, like the extended and additional and cover you for 10 years. And so if I didn't initiate the warranty process through them, through the dealership that I purchased it at, then it caused more problems.
But why? I need to know the problem, sir, because for the lemon law, they have to be significant for drivability and merchantability of the car. Can you what is the problem? Like if you went and got your car and started using it, what are the symptoms right now?
So the most frequent one that comes up is literally the instrument cluster on the display it reports a SIM compatibility or insertion
so
error.
the whole display is overtaken by an error message, or just one part of it?
Yes, the entire display. And then that starts a chain reaction of other errors.
Well, you can't possibly use that car with the instrument display showing an error message.
No. And it disconnects the GPS, the phone, everything else that's attached to it.
This is ridiculous.
Tom, Logan said this truck has been over at Auto Nations for, Logan, how long did you say? Like 40 days or something like that now?
Or 97 days.
97 days.
Okay, so what are they giving you a car to use?
No. I've asked repeatedly.
Okay, so
no.
D,
yeah.
How much of this did we get out? Because he needs to get. We need to call the dealer. I mean, Kachina. We need to get. Oh no! Let's see. We got some of our. I got some of my deputies.
Hey, before we call the dealer, I would love to hear Logan talk.
Go ahead.
About this possible buyback. Logan, can you clue us in on this miracle?
What's going on? So around the 40-day mark, this had been escalated.
And I think they think it's inevitable. Okay, so it's been escalated, and what happened?
Yeah, well, I was really frustrated at around the 45-day mark, and it was like nothing's being resolved. So at that point, they told me that internal to GM, after 21 days, they could initiate a buyback.
And who is the dealer, by the way? Who is the dealer?
Auto Nation Chevy North.
You know, it's not really their problem. You know that. I mean,
yeah.
Okay. It sounds like they found a way.
It's the manufacturer's problem.
Though it's been so long since the car was new, it sounds like AutoNation may have found a way to talk GM to buying it back.
Okay, so
what happened after that?
Yeah, go ahead. What's going on with that?
So that, so the dealership became unresponsive to me.
All right, Logan, what I need to know is, though, the buyback. Is there a buyback offer? That's a yes or no. Is there?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I want to evaluate. Hold on. I want to evaluate that offer and go on from there after a few messages here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, or you can call 303-MARTINO. We also have Best Way Insulation in the house. Now, let me tell you something. There are so many easy things you can do with insulation to save tons of money. There are also many things you do that don't do anything. And what about the truth about attic fans? Adam with Best Way Insulation will be here to tell us. And of course, you know how I feel about drinking water. Drinking water is crucial to health. Good drinking water. And for $1,200, you get reverse osmosis. You can't find that price anywhere to touch waterpros.net. Waterpros.net for the best systems at the lowest prices, bar none. If you're doing supplements and watching what you're eating, why bother if you're drinking crap water? Waterpros.net, 303-862-5554.
Very nice.
Thank you, guys.
You're great at protecting your person. Guys. Just me. Who the hell else are you thinking?
Authentication and strong passwords.
Kachina
as much as you try to control,
is she buried in her mimosas already?
Also have it, and they may not be as careful.
She's face down in some jungle juice there, Tommy.
Yeah.
Points a second for threats.
I'm just so ashamed of her.
Stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed.
Oh, you should be proud. Look how long she can hold her breath. Here you go, Joe Lazzara.
Play as the promo code at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
You know, if you are ever in trouble and need a criminal defense attorney, yeah, that can be a DUI or a massive speeding ticket. It turns into a crime or a scuffle with a neighbor, something crazy. You know, if you're in trouble, the last thing you want to do is shop for an attorney when you're under pressure. I've done the shopping for you. Joe Lazzara has been with me for years. I've known him 30 years. You can call Lazzara for free initial consultations always. And then if he takes your case or you decide to hire him, it's on a flat rate basis for each offense. So call Joe Lazzara. Don't call an unknown. 303-429-6200. Put that name away in case you ever have to refer to someone. And 303-429-6200, Lazzara. You can find Lazzara on referralist.com.
Very nice.
Okay, there's some good stuff going on here. I think we have some good stuff going on here. This car problem is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Am I supposed to be getting somebody on?
Tom can hear you if you holler.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you want Kevin or anybody?
You know what? Good question.
You took too long to answer, so it's a no.
Let's try Kevin, just in case I want to bounce something off him. Well, actually not. They're offering a buyback.
Yeah.
Don't worry about an expert. We don't need it right now.
Okay. Back to mimosas.
Gotcha.
I got.
You should at least
it's,
have, send some over my way, but.
No. How are you? Don't you have some sort of something fun in an IV drip?
Hey, I can get that. I'm going to ask them that tomorrow. Can you put some good juice, good stuff in there tomorrow when you do my chemo?
I think that's already provided.
I would ask for the Johnny Walker Blue.
I doubled
that's
my
good
medicine.
stuff.
By the way, who do I have at the studio there? Who do I see there? Is that Dollar?
Chopper and Dollar.
Chopper and Dollar. Hello, guys. I see you waving.
Hey, Tom.
Hello for you.
Okay. I can't tell you how many people tell me my clock is wrong. Yeah, by a minute or so. It's not a satellite set. That clock in the back is handset. It's stupid. I don't know.
We always think it's just the delay.
You're saying clock. There's
YouTube
an element
delay.
clock.
No, it's setting a clock nowadays, because there are so many self-setting ones with the satellite.
Yeah.
It's like freaking impossible to get them exact.
No.
What are you doing? Kelly, you okay?
Yeah.
Kelly's more than okay.
Oh.
Kelly's fabulous.
From a distance.
There's no static.
Here we go.
I know. I think it's the jack.
It's the jack.
Martino's
Yeah.
But I wonder.
I think
Can
Kelly.
you hear me over the microphone?
Yeah. I think Kelly said
Hi, Henry.
they've had
What's
someone
going on?
come in and look at it. But
Oh.
Okay, did you send me the information I asked you to send me yesterday?
I wonder why I have a number here for an independent Rolls-Royce service and repair.
Okay, you called the phone number I gave you
Okay,
yesterday?
but
was that the guy from L.A. last week?
Okay, I'll erase it. Thank you.
So that's
All right,
it. I
Henry,
don't hear
what's
it,
your
though.
last name?
All right.
All
There
right.
you go.
Right.
Heart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We have a lot going on today. Thank you for being here. Remember, we're going to get a lot of heat. Fix It 24/7 will do a free second opinion. If you're told you need a new AC, please get a free second opinion from someone I know and trust. FixMyHome.com, book now, or give them a call, 720-526-3939. That's Fix It 24/7. Free second opinions. You have absolutely nothing to lose. You can even run by the price and see if you can beat it. Fix It 24/7. FixMyHome.com. Book now. Now, Best Way Installation. I got a quick question for you, and then we're going to move on to Logan and just find out about his buyback. But Adam, something I need to ask you. Adam Weingart. He's with Best Way Installation, son of the founders. It's a family-owned and operated business. We love them. They've been with us for so many years. BestWayInstallation.com. Here's a quick question. You said rebates have never been better. Can you please elaborate? Because people are selfish. When it comes right down to it, people want to know about money. People want to know how they can save. So tell me about the rebates available. And are they rebates that are legit? Like, who do they come from? Tell me about the rebates.
So,
hold on there. There you go, sir. Go.
The rebates, the main company in town that has the rebates available is Excel Energy, which is most of the area. There are also some rebates through Black Hills Energy, Atmos Gas, some others.
Okay, so what is let's just take Excel, that's the biggest number of people. How does it work?
So what they need is you come out and get an estimate, and if you qualify, you have a little bit of insulation in your attic, and you need someone with Excel that's in their program. Have them verify, and then there's a couple different paths you could go.
Okay, so if it's determined you need insulation, does Excel come and look at your house?
So not necessarily them, but one of their contractors.
So you're
like
one of the
us.
contractors
Yes.
that are approved. Okay, so Best Way comes and says you need it. How much is the typical rebate?
So I did one this morning. Before I came down here.
Yeah.
And without just adding insulation at their house was about $2,000, and it all depends on your house.
Yeah, I get it. No, I get it. I get it.
However, with all the stuff that Excel requires, air sealing, which is another thing we can get into later, you add those together, that the total of the house was, I want to say, or the project was somewhere around $4,500. However,
bring it up to the standards of Excel.
However, with the rebates, it actually was cheaper. Her after the rebate, it's going to end up being about $1,800.
So that's even cheaper than insulation alone.
Yes.
So for $1,800, she gets the whole shooting match.
Yeah.
You do the ceiling, and you guys do this all.
Yeah. We handle it all. We
So
even
it all
do the paperwork for
it all starts with an approved contractor inspecting the home.
Yes.
And even if the home's been around a while, you don't think you need insulation. Most of them do.
Actually, if your house is older, you probably need it more than newer homes.
All right. Now, we'll talk more about that. But right now, what I'd like to do is, of course, go back to I want to go back to this call and find out what the heck is going on here. Because really, if you think about it, you know, a buyback is the ultimate solution. So I'm asking you, sir, what are they offering on the buyback?
So far, it's all speculative. I've been told that it's in progress. It takes a while, and that's it.
How many miles on this? How many miles on the Chevy Tahoe?
32,000, I think.
You only have 32,000 miles on this?
It's been stuck in the shop.
Yeah.
It's been stuck in the shop most of its life.
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
less than 10
So
years.
so you bought this new car in 2021 and you only have 30,000 miles on it. And okay.
And no replacement vehicle, no loaner, no service.
No, this is ridiculous. So where does it stand today?
Still in the shop. I haven't heard from anybody from AutoNation.
This is
in 5
ridiculous.
weeks. Chevy, 4 weeks.
This is ridiculous.
Supposed to sit around and wait forever, I guess.
Logan, I don't mind. I don't blame you for being pissed off. You have a new car that you've literally not been able to use. Did we try to call the dealer directly?
With the kids.
Not yet, but we should call the dealer.
Yeah, we got to call the dealer. Kachina. Or give it to one. Let's see. Who's it? Let's give it to a Deputy Dollar in the Deputy Dollar. Do me a favor, sir. Call them right now. This is ridiculous. Come on, man. So if we talk about total number of days in the shop is 96 days.
And look at how many years. Logan, I take it you're still making 4 years of payments on this truck?
Oh, yeah.
So look at this. He's been paying for this truck every month for 4 years, plus insurance, Tom. Insurance is
I know, for sitting in a shop.
And the truck is just sitting there in the dealership at AutoNation.
Okay, look. Hold on. Put him on hold. We're gonna go work on this. We will work on this. This is ridiculous. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. All right. We talked about installation rebates, and I need to know, does Best Way do their processing of the rebates? Do you help with that? How much do you help the homeowner there?
Well, as much as we can with certain programs. So for instance, Excel, we handle everything. All we need is their name and their Excel account number, and we process everything else for them. Have the check go.
You can't ask for more than that.
Yeah.
And you can tell them what's available in that. Now, okay, here's what I want to know, though. If the house is insulated and you suggest, well, it needs more, I mean, just because more would be better, Would it still qualify? In other words, does Excel say you have to have a minimum of this? Because I can't imagine Excel padding the pockets of insulation companies. Now, for example, Best Way is a great company. I'm not suggesting you do anything dishonestly, but let's say, according to the Best Way, which I know your mom's meticulous about this, if you guys recommend more insulation, it's not necessarily because the house is under insulated. It's just not the best way, so to speak. No, seriously.
But actually, Excel is pretty tight with their rebate. Like, they only rebate certain things, and their engineers have found out that even a home, it's all based off of an R rating scale. But let's say you're half of what you should be.
Yeah,
they still even rebate that. They have like 4 tiers.
But are there cases where the house is pretty tight and it's okay, but you guys think it can be better? That would not be, then you would not get rebates on that.
Yes, but the house would have to meet that standard of the R60. If you're under that, they'll rebate.
So most homes are not R60.
Right. I would say 98% of the homes out there.
Now, when you say R60, are we talking about the ceiling, the walls, or are we talking about an average?
That's the attic insulation. That's up there above your drywall and your ceiling area. So the walls.
Is that the number one most important area of the attic?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, is some debate about that, but I will tell you this: that area is so critical. That's what Excel's willing to rebate, and their engineers have gone through it.
So there are no rebates for wall insulation?
There is if your house was built before 1971 and you have 0 wall insulation. There's a lot of homes out there that do.
All right. 303-713-TALK is our number. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Listen, there are so many things being sold under the name of insulation that really don't do much. And we're going to tell you when an attic fan is totally useless. And that's, unfortunately, probably most of them, if they're not done properly. So stay tuned for that and more. RenewHomeInnovations.com, the most beautiful shower conversions you'll ever see. That's just simply it. The Shub Tower, the shower tub combo, I hate them. They take out that ugly thing and put in a beautiful rectangle. And this rectangle shower, listen to this. It's got porcelain walls with no maintenance. Porcelain. Beautiful porcelain in an array of colors and designs. They can do the whole bathroom or just the shower, and it's custom made to you. They can do it in 2 or 3 days, and they have programs where you can take months and months and months to repay with no interest. And I'm telling you, you will love it. RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000.
Yep.
Hey, D.
Yeah, I'm here.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now.
Yeah, he's answering you.
Today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver.
Scott, I'm here.
Scott?
Why are you guys trying to talk before the spot?
Scott. Oh, never mind. You're right. He's not letting us before the spot. He's right. I have a spot to do.
By Indeed.com.
You should know better than that.
Well, focus, goddammit.
Dealing with any big delays, a little slowing coming down Floyd Hill there. Doing
all of you. Stop it.
No.
And at least for now.
I got a button here that says you don't have to be on the air.
So we're looking at a bit of a delay merging on I-25, which is...
We missed you.
We're seeing a little slowing coming in and out.
I got to be out again tomorrow for the drip of death.
Maybe a little bit of traffic along
poison drip.
Come on.
Commerce City, but no major problem spots. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
You know, when we have really cold weather or really hot weather, one thing is for sure. Rats will come out of the woodwork. I don't mean literal rats. I mean rats that try to sell you new things when you don't need them. Fix It 24/7. The name implies they want to fix it. They want to keep it going. They want to make it last. For $39, if you've never had it done before, they will do it for you for $39 to add life and efficiency to your system. For $39, it's a practical refurbishment of the entire AC system. You got to see it to believe it. Up to 2 hours of labor and materials to clean all of this. $39. Now, listen, if someone tells you you need something new, one of those rats, you get a free second opinion. FixMyHome.com. Book now. Free second opinions. All right, let's talk about opinions on personal injury. You know what? If you're in an accident, the very first thing you need is information. I can't tell you how many calls I get. People say, I was just got in an accident. What do I do? Because they don't listen. Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Call John Fuller, free of charge. One of the only attorneys, in fact, the only one I know, that when you call the office initially, you can be funneled right to John Fuller. Just say you want to talk to John. Ask about your case, each and every detail. He'll go over it with you with no obligation. If you decide to hire him, it's on a percentage fee basis, and you even get his cell phone. You can call or text at any time. Call for the personal and personal injury, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. Real estate's one of the most popular topics we have on this show, whether it be you're a landlord, you're a tenant, or maybe you're a developer, or maybe you just have a squabble with your neighbor over a border, over an easement. Whatever it is, if it has to do with real estate, think O'Brien Legal Services. Brad O'Brien and his team specialize or emphasize in their law practice real estate. So if it has to do with real estate, especially now with the complicated time to be a landlord in Colorado, oh my goodness. Call O'Brien Legal Services. Stay out of hot water. Preserve your rights. 720-370-7388. 720-370-7388. Or the website stands for O'Brien Legal Services. It's olslaw.com.
Were you guys trying to talk? Hello?
Who's trying to talk? No. Oh, yeah. We wanted to talk. Dollar was asking for Deputy D.
Clemency?
Deputy D is listening.
Oh.
How much
Yeah,
time
D,
do I
I
have?
was just thinking because you know all about this Logan guy, and have you spoken to him?
No, John and I took his call yesterday.
Right,
When he
okay.
first called in right at the end of the show. I have no problem.
Yeah, I'm happy to call up there.
Yeah, because I figured you and Chopper are there just once a week, and I'm around much of the time.
Right.
So I figured it might be fun for
Oh,
you
it's fine.
guys. Yeah, only if it's fun. If not, then I'll be happy to call.
No.
Okay, cool.
All good.
Awesome, dude. Thanks. Good luck with that.
Last week I was watching Better Call Saul.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
It's like he came up with his name. It's all good, man.
You ever see examples of how ridiculous
No, I didn't hear D at all.
TV
Oh, you didn't?
hosts,
No.
Late night TV hosts' shares
I did.
are.
I know, I didn't hear him.
Guest shares.
Oh, that's because offline
Jay was big on
works
it.
that headset.
Johnny wasn't too bad, but Jay was bad.
Doesn't work.
And Letterman.
You don't get
holy crap,
offline on that headset
powered
right over
his
there.
guest.
Over here.
So there's a visual example of what Tom has done with his microphone. He is just towering over everybody else.
And then I got to go back over there.
You want a different set of headphones?
I don't think that's the problem.
I think it's a jack.
Yeah. It's in all the way. Still there.
Cool, bro. Why is it dead air? Huh. Dead air. Okay, we're here.
Compared to what?
Compared to live air.
Yeah, right.
Who loves you?
Nobody I know.
Hey, I wonder if I can get mimosa put into my chemo bag. I got to say hello to my peeps here.
Here we go.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show where we're solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. And there's a lot to talk about, man. I'll tell you, insulating your home is probably one of the first foremost things you can do. Well, obviously, you want the equipment working right? So you want to clean and make sure that equipment is all tuned and all that. Seriously. But now here's what I want to tell you. When it comes to that, then what good is heating and cooling a place that leaks like a sieve? So we've been talking to Best Way Insulation because this is the time of year a lot of people turn their thoughts to their homes and also in the cold. And there is also another misnomer. Not a misnomer. It's not misnamed, but it's a misunderstanding. And that is insulation is really for winter. Let's talk about that with Adam, with one of the owners of Best Way. So, Adam, what about summer and winter? What does insulation do? Seriously, does it keep the heat in? I mean, in the summer, you want to cool your home, so it keeps the heat out, right? I mean, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. So insulation, think of it as a barrier, kind of like when you're sitting on the couch and you're cold, you throw a blanket over you. The blanket itself is not heated, but what it's doing is keeping your body heat from escaping.
Okay.
And that's what insulation
So
does.
if you cool your home, it keeps it from escaping.
Exactly.
And it keeps the heat from coming in.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you think of it as a barrier.
Yeah,
It's either keeping heat out or keeping cool out.
Yeah, it's kind of doing both. It's keeping the elements from outside from coming in and keeping the inside from going out. So.
What's the biggest mistake people do when they look at insulation in a home? I mean, let's talk about that because so many people might be thinking their home is fine and they can save a ton of money. Okay, we have already found out that there are rebates for almost every program if you have an approved contractor. Best Way Insulation is an approved contractor. So in addition to the rebates, let's talk about the actual insulation. You attack the attic first. That's the most important.
Yes. And one thing people don't always do, and this is required for the rebates, is you got to go in most cases, and do what's called air sealing to the attic before.
Is air sealing as important as insulating?
I would say it's if it's not number one, it's number two, and vice versa with insulation. When you have an energy assessment,
one without the other is kind of useless.
Yeah,
so
together they work great.
When we talk about air sealing, we're talking about. I know about insulation. Insulation is a barrier in the wall or in the ceiling. What is the air sealing? I'm assuming it's around windows and doors and stuff, but it keeps breezes out.
Yeah, and a lot of it is around doors and windows. However, the largest area in your whole house, and this is why Excel gives you money for the rebates, is your ceiling. So every light fixture that comes down, every wall that you have that a wire runs up into the attic, all those
outlets,
air,
all of it.
yeah, just seep
So
through.
you literally seal around outlets and switches and light fixtures.
Yeah, but not in the wall, up in the attic part.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we get all that as well.
And that's important.
Yeah, it's equally as important as the insulation for sure.
Okay. Now, I have one text here. Someone wants to know, do you do walls by tearing out drywall, or do you go in from the outside? How do you do walls? Do you blow it in? How do you do walls?
So walls is a real tricky thing. I would say the wall insulation needs the best professional because there can be a lot of things that go wrong. But generally what we do, either from the inside or outside, we try to go from the outside to eliminate the mess. We take off a row of siding. We put in a hole that's about the size of an apple, about 2.5 inches. And then we run a tube. And this is whether it has insulation or it's completely empty, because a lot of homes are under insulated in their walls. And we run a tube up there and compress. And if you go to our website, we actually have a really neat video that we show how we can re-insulate a wall, because a lot of people.
And it's not foam or liquid.
No, this is a dry. And the advantage to the dry stuff is we can pack it in very, very tight, and we don't have to worry about any mismixing or any,
and it's less
liquid
expensive.
not drying, and it's
way less expensive.
Cheaper, yeah. And it
So what is the actual fiber used for insulating?
So we prefer cellulose for walls. mainly, and it's recycled newspaper. They fire treat it with boron or boric acid. It gives it a class 1 fire rating, so it's more fireproof than your drywall, studs, that kind of thing.
Got it.
And also, what's nice about it too is rodents don't like it nearly as much as other materials because it irritates their nose and feet. So they like
compressed cellulose fiber.
Yeah, and it's mainly post-consumer paper and pre-consumer paper. So recycled paper.
It's recycled. It's good. Right. Okay. So what do you do for the ceilings?
So same thing. We prefer cellulose. It's a little less if somebody's like, I really want to use fiberglass. That's okay. And we think the cellulose blocks out more of the radiant heat. So in the summertime, it works better. But the walls definitely, I would never put anything else in my walls but cellulose.
People, by the way, we are talking about insulation, but we'll talk about anything you want. All you have to do is call us. And then we have 2 numbers. The main number, 303-MARTINO, you can call 24/7. Get your name on a list. We will call you back. Just leave your number. We'll call you back. Or you can call 303-713-TALK while we're on the air. So I have a text here talking about radiant heat barriers. Now, I know for a while we were getting complaints. People would come to the door and say, we can cut down 98%, or we can increase 98% your insulation. We're going to go to the attic, and we have this space. They called it space age. They really use that. Say it's like a solar blanket, a space age blanket that we put in your attic, and it'll radiate the heat or cold out. They're called radiant heat barriers, and they were selling it as, you don't have to blow in insulation. You don't have to make a mess. We're just going to lay down this cloth or whatever it is. It's just sheets of reflective material.
Yeah, it's like aluminum foil.
So tell us about the sheet. Why don't those sheets work?
So the issue with radiant heat barriers is they need to work in climates that have a lot of what they call cooling degree days. Like in Colorado, we only have on average about 90 cooling degree days.
What is a cooling degree day?
So a cooling degree day is where the temperature outside the home is significantly more than the inside of the home. And so you need to cool the house. Otherwise you're getting, heat in from the house. So
when we talk about a radiant heat barrier, we're talking about areas where the inside of the house would be much hotter than outside.
Or that you're trying to keep the heat from the outside from coming in.
Okay, but it doesn't help in the winter.
Exactly, and that's the downside.
In the summer, though, if I had a radiant heat barrier in the attic, will it help lower air conditioning bills? And we'll talk about that and more coming up, because that's what I want to know. What good is a radiant heat barrier, if any, and when does it help most? I have that and more coming up, as long with your calls at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And also, I want to tell you about Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, who will give you an evaluation of your home, what it will sell for in the market, considering the neighborhood, the comps, the supply and demand, the interest rates. All of those elements are taken together, and Frank does a complete analysis to see what your house would sell for. And he uses his 30-plus years of experience to help you. There is no obligation to list ever with Frank. He'll do this as a public service, truly. And it's written and official. I mean, it's really more than you think. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Very nice.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal.
Well, we're in pretty good shape right now. We're not dealing with any big delays. A little slowing coming down Floyd Hill. They are doing rock scaling today, but the highway remains open, at least for now. Eastbound 6th Avenue, the ramp to southbound 25 is backed up, so we're looking at a bit of a delay merging on I-25, which is good to the tech center. We're seeing a little slowing coming in and out of downtown. Looks like Pena, maybe a little bit of traffic along with 270 heading out of Commerce City, but no major problem spots. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal is here with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich and small Fuego fries inspired by Takis Fuego chips with a 1-ounce Takis Fuego bag and a drink. Grab yours today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's while supplies last. Takis and Fuego are used under license.
The days are longer this time of year. And what that means is that a lot of people go out after work and they might have a drink or two. and they don't even realize it, but they're legally intoxicated, you can get in big trouble. If you are in trouble and need the help of a defense attorney, the last thing you want to do is go searching when you're in trouble and make stupid decisions. I have done the searching for you. Joe Lazzara has defended many, many people, sometimes to just lessen the impact and to get through it the best way you can. At other times, it's to get rid of the charges. Whatever it is, Joe Lazzara can help you with DUIs or with traffic offenses or with any crime. 303-429-6200. Everyone has a story. Everyone deserves a defense. 303-429-6200. Lazzara, Lazzara. You can find him at referralist.com. Now, let's talk about two words you don't hear together very much. Discount bath. Now, Discount Bath did something, and it's not that unique, but they seem to be the only ones doing it. They just decided to make less profit, to do more volume, and to do a discount on baths, which are usually very expensive. In fact, they can price it for you without ever coming to your home. That's how confident they are of what they do. Whether it's your fix and flip, a rental, or a dream home, they have all various levels of quality assurance that'll get you the most for your money. Discountbath.com. You start there, you upload a video, and they give you a price. Discountbath.com.
You. I understand it. I think that's why they're going to take them back.
Take what back?
Chinese-owned farmland.
Well, how do they take it back, though? What do they do?
Are they nationalizing it? Are they making it some sort of government property and kicking the Chinese off?
Domain.
Or buying it back? I don't know. But the agriculture secretary in the cabinet meeting right now just held up a map of America with all the Chinese
How much?
farms
No, seriously. How much farmland are we talking about?
Oh, it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not like Ted Turner size land ownership. You know that guy.
But they're all geographically strategic toward air bases and naval bases and army bases and military installments.
And it's an interesting excuse that China says that a lot of their richest citizens are buying it as a tax shelter.
Yeah. I don't think so.
My UPS package was delivered.
Nice package, Tom.
I don't.
Oh, thank you. I was told that before.
Uh-huh.
How much time do I have to call my wife?
2 minutes.
Oh, that's not enough.
No, it's perfect. Honey, I only have 2 minutes. What? I gotta, and
it is perfect. You're right. Here I go.
There you go.
Honey, your UPS package was delivered. So what else is going on? I only have a minute, but yeah, I know. I heard you. I'll be there. I know. I just been busy. But that's good. So I'll be there. Okay, honey. Bye-bye.
Oh my gosh, Tom, that was awesome.
It worked, man.
The 1 minute marital conversation. That is
That's the
we guys
1 minute
sleep
manager.
in separate bedrooms.
What?
He talked to his wife for 1 minute. There used to be a book I thought. That
Oh,
said the
speaking of
1
which,
minute
did you still need batteries?
Most high up managers,
Okay.
they give you about a minute of their brain thought. If you don't get it in that minute,
Pretty funny though.
they're off.
Yeah.
Not after, but before. Yeah.
Take a piece of paper when I leave, wad it up, stick it down there, put the thing in there. They'll replace the jack.
Who's gonna drive
Just
you
break it.
home?
And then
Yeah, hey.
Like I say, I haven't asked Google yet for appropriate conversation and/or seating padding for post-OBGYN visits.
Or pre.
You're on your own. there.
You could have.
Probably don't sit on the heater.
Listen,
don't
this
need
could be a very, very optimal prime site for you
Okay.
because you could find a chick who's already knocked up, Or you could find an older chick that is,
maybe
like me,
maybe doesn't have
who
any
is
plumbing, and so she's not crazy anymore.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to put in my Tinder teeth and look my best.
Your Tinder teeth would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could meet the nurse.
Oh. Or I could warm the speculum.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Yes, we are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier, whatever is on your mind. I have this guy. I have this friend on, he's my YouTube moron, one of them, and he texts me a lot. And you can text me, by the way, and I want to emphasize this. You can text me on the iHeart short code if you want, 57739, and put Tom in there and I'll get your message. Or you can text me on my Google Voice. Now, my Google Voice, I want to tell you something seriously. That is my cell. Everything on that Google Voice comes to my cell. And I just put it on a Google number so I can, turn it off if I ever need to. But I get texts from people all 24/7. And I will schedule for a show or talk to you about Wave 8 Wealth Management, my financial advisement firm, or any other topic you have. So anyway, I have a friend on the Google Voice who's one of my morons. And he says he's a firm believer and always sends me pictures of chemtrails. These trails across the sky, which are a natural phenomenon and have nothing to do with seeding with chemicals. But there's a group of people on the internet. I mean, honestly, well, listen, you can find a group of people on the internet that thinks poopy is a good supplement for you. But so it doesn't surprise me that you find a group who believe that the government is busy seeding our clouds. And they are so absolutely ridiculous that they believe somehow, now listen to this, our airlines have enough problems getting off the ground, and I'm really serious now, with weight. Their biggest concern is weight of luggage, weight of passengers. The average weights have gone up, the weight of fuel, to be airborne and efficient and to make money. But they somehow believe that in addition to all of this, they're carrying thousands of pounds of chemicals and have secret agreements with the government to seed our clouds and our skies. Now, first of all, why wouldn't this get out to the public? If the airlines if they were really doing this, not one person, not one would have absolute proof and could show us that there are tanks in these airliners carrying chemicals to seed. And how do you get the government to persuade airlines to do it? And what if it's a Republican administration or a Democrat administration? How do they do it? I honest to God cannot believe there are people who truly believe that those trails up there are intentional and are made up of chemicals to alter our environment in some way. Now, there are all kinds of theories. There's a theory that says they're seeding those clouds to control the weather. Others say they're seeding those clouds to control us or to limit lifespan or a plethora of other problems or solutions that these chemtrails possibly solve. What the hell are they talking about? Now, I truly want to know if anyone truly believes that's going on. And every time you see these trails across the sky, they come out of the woodwork and they believe that there is an overall major kind of plot. And one of the things now that they have given us, if you look up this story, is about a representative, a Republican from Georgia, introduced a bill, federal legislation, that would outlaw geoengineering practices and banning the injection or release of chemicals into the atmosphere intended to alter the weather, temperature, or sunlight. So this woman, Marjorie Taylor, is introducing a bill. And actually, to introduce the bill, you have to believe it's going on to begin with. And that's what's happening right now. It's a real bill being introduced to stop the government from seeding the clouds. Now, I don't doubt there are programs going on where they experiment with this, but on a mass scale with the airlines, that's a bunch of bull. I'd like to know your opinions. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Thanks, man. Sorry that was set too loud.
I don't care. Yeah, it's good, yeah.
I blame Shannon.
So are they taking tax off Social Security?
Yeah.
Up into a certain amount.
6,000.
How much?
No, that's
$6,000.
That's the credit. But if you make more than a certain amount.
Oh, right.
Oh, so it phases out. You don't get it if you make money.
Yeah, I think it's $150K.
Yeah. You know, you pay in all these years. It shouldn't matter what you make. If
It's like a marriage.
there are people that actually have been proposing that if you make good money in retirement, you shouldn't take Social Security. And yet, then why pay into it? I think you should at least get a rebate of what you paid in.
But it's to help others, Tom.
Here's the thing. Never mind. I don't want to get into that. I'm just one of the people who don't vilify wealth.
You got a little commie in you.
No, I just don't vilify wealth. I don't think it's evil.
Stop punishing success.
I mean, I imagine there are some liars and cheaters that make money, but I mean, it's not the majority.
Well, and the thing I've tried to teach my daughter is that wealth isn't preserved by keeping it in a mattress.
That's
So
right.
if you have money, it's out there doing something.
That's true.
Which is exactly what these idiots try to make you think that, well, it's just tax cuts for the rich. I want the rich to have tax cuts because they'll end up using the money for something.
Truly.
When was the last time a guy holding a cardboard sign did anything for you? I mean, it's Prime Week or whatever it is, Amazon. Jeff Bezos has done a lot more for you than a dude at a corner.
Shannon, if you had a car, they'd wash your windshield.
I do have a car, and I want to know where you know what? I asked one of the city manager people, one of the guys who was working with the newcomers to Denver. I said, where the hell are they getting the squeegees? And the guy was great. He goes, we don't know. We honestly don't know.
I think I'm going to go get coffee again.
Get out.
Squeegees are us.
Right.
Well, if you don't mind, that's wonderful. I appreciate that.
So Thursday, I have a dentist appointment, and I go like at 38th and Federal. There used to be
my land.
Oh yeah, there was like 20 of those guys that would come over and do that. Now, I think the last time I went to the dentist, for some reason they weren't there. But
there used to be like 10 to 15
They probably
of
wasn't
them
paying their protection money.
Oh, no.
Alameda and Santa Fe. Oh,
You got to pay your protection money.
so many.
What were you doing at 38th and Federal?
Because my dentist is up in Wheat Ridge at 38th. And
Wow. You know how many dentists you drive by to get to that
I know,
one?
but I've been seeing this one since I was 5 years old.
I used to think like that, but then one day I said, I've driven by 23 dental offices.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, for some reason on 38th, I bet I pass a dozen dentist office.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah.
Sheridan and up to where his office is. It's blows my mind.
Morning, Tom Martino Show.
There used to be a really good dentist in North Denver when I grew up. And he did something shady, gambling or
What's your
something.
first name?
He lost his license. And he ended up being the dentist for the city zoo.
Oh.
Because he was a dentist. He could
Yeah.
still practice. He was, made fame and did good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got it. Hang on.
Hell, if I knew you were going there, I'd said, had you stop and got me some tamales.
Well, I mean, it's Thursday, so.
So proud. watching these damn cabinet.
Boy, that intersection's changed.
Got all the right people in there.
God, isn't it amazing? It's like a who's who of the best, and everybody just goes around, and everybody is so intelligent and brilliant.
Where?
The cabinet
meetings.
You really feel that way?
Yes.
What? Yeah. See, this would be a great litmus test to decide whether or not people need to keep consuming oxygen. You look at Trump's cabinet, and if you don't get that it's good-looking, smart people, get out.
And then CNN has the flood. They won't even show it.
Why? Wait a minute. Why wouldn't CNN show it?
No, they don't.
No, they don't show Trump in the cabinet meetings.
Nope.
CNN is on the flood.
Yes, on the flood. Excuse me.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't get what he's talking about. What do you mean?
He's saying that we're watching Fox go wall to wall with the cabinet meeting, whereas CNN is showing little girls' bodies in the water. Okay. That's kind of their thing.
Not that bad, but yeah.
I'll be right back.
Get out.
It's almost that bad.
Oh, I forget. Who's the transportation guy? Another former Fox anchor, right?
Oh, yeah. Duffy.
Yep.
Sean Duffy.
Yeah, I mean, good-looking TV people. Smart, well-spoken. There's Bondi next to...
Pete Hegseth.
God. Oh, my gosh.
Then you got Mike Huckabee in there earlier when they were talking about Israel, and you had Bebby Netanyahu.
Rubio's doing a better job than I thought. He's doing good.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
We should donate Kelly to being a cabinet member.
Sure.
Yeah, let's not.
All right.
How does Tom do that?
Back. Well, with kids home from school, parents need easy, satisfying, and healthy snacks. You might think snack bars sold for kids are more nutritious than cookies.
But are they really? News 4's Anyang looked at the claims to reveal the truth.
Sorry. That's me.
No, you're fine. Yeah, we figured. I didn't think it was dollar.
I hate when when they automatically play videos on pages.
Probably pays part of our rent. Let them do it.
You may not be that far off.
Yeah.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, Tom Martino here. We've been solving problems in Denver for 45 years, taking your calls, your questions, your complaints, and trying to make your life a little easier. That's what the whole show's about. Major Marc Mager and Suze are off today. Well-deserved. Or they're working behind the scenes. We got Deputy Dollar and Deputy Chopper in the studio. I got Deputy D with me here at the home studio. I have a guest, Adam Weingart, with Best Way Insulation. We've been talking about some insulation stuff, and we'll continue with that in a minute. I got Jason on the phone who wants to talk about hail damage. Jason, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on, Jason?
Basically, I have a home that my insurance company said that I don't have any hail damage, but I've had 4 or 5 roofers say that I do have hail damage, and I have a home inspection that says I have hail damage.
And Jason, is the hail damage from a particular storm?
No, it's over several different years.
Okay, you're not going to get covered anyway. In other words, a covered event, Jason, is when you have an event and you have damage. If you have more than one event and let them pile up, you're not going to get covered because you don't have, and if you do, here's the problem. if you have a recent storm now and they see that there's old damage combined with the new damage, you're only going to get partial. So here's what I want to know. Is this a home you've been in for a while?
Only 5 years.
Okay. So you've been in your home for 5 years. And during that 5 years, how many storms have you had that you did not report?
They weren't very big hailstorms, so I didn't think there was any damage. So maybe.
So you never put in a claim for any of them. What was the most recent one?
Right. Probably last summer.
And after that storm, did you contact your insurance after that particular storm?
Not until like September.
Okay, but you did contact them in September of 2024 about a storm in the summer of 2024.
Yeah.
And when you did that, what did they say?
They came out and looked at it. They said that it was wear and tear.
Okay.
They saw that there was some material loss in the shingles, but they didn't say there was any hail damage. They did note that there's wear and tear on the ends of the shingles, like they're kind of like there's material missing from the ends of the shingles. But I looked at the pictures and it looks like there is other spots where there's damage as well. So.
Okay. If you had a storm in the summer of 2024 that you reported in September of 2024, then at the time here's the problem. Okay. Now you have a year to contest this thing. You might be out of time right now. When in the summer was that storm?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. It was probably
Jason,
July,
I'm going to tell you something, bro.
July, August.
There's probably not a good chance of getting anything covered because you were not diligent. When you have a storm, you have to call immediately. Okay. How old is the roof?
It's about 5 years old.
Wait a minute. The roof is only 5 years old? You've been in the home 5 years. So was it new when you moved in?
Yes.
Well, then it can't be normal wear and tear. There might be something. You can't have normal wear and tear that'll wear out your whole roof. Do roofers say your whole roof needs to be replaced?
Yeah, one said they would give us like a 3-year warranty if you did some repairs, but he said that all of them said it's widespread across the whole roof. So yeah, most of them say that the whole roof needs to be replaced.
You've had enough hailstorms that you did not report on a brand new 5-year-old roof. Well, shame on you, Jason. God, I mean, with every storm, you should have your roof inspected by a roofer, by a reputable roofer like Excel Roofing. I mean, here's the deal. What do we do now? Well, if you have damage from the summer of 2024, you already reported it, so you're not out of time. But now you have to contest their finding. The best you can do is in your policy, there is a place where you can go through what's called the appraisal process. That is where you get it. You tell your insurance company, I want to get into the appraisal process, or look in your policy, and there is a procedure for the appraisal process. Okay. What that means is in the appraisal process, there's a few steps. You notify the insurance company, then you get an expert who outlines the damage, and he has to only talk about the recent damage from the summer of 2024. And then they get an expert to dispute it. If those two experts can't work it out, it goes to arbitration, which is binding on the insurance company. It's not binding on you. So enter the appraisal process. Another thing you can do, but usually after the appraisal process, but a good public adjuster. Do you know what a public adjuster is?
I don't.
public adjusters are just what the name implies. Don't mistake them for what's called independent adjusters. Independent adjusters work for insurance companies. They're independent, meaning they are adjusters, and insurance companies hire them during high volume times, like after a fire or a flood or big hailstorms. They need independent adjusters to help them out. But that is a misnomer for people who believe independent adjuster means, he's independent. They're not. They work for the insurance company. But then there's something called a public adjuster, and public adjusters are hired by the public to fight insurance adjusters. So if you believe that you have coverage coming that they're not stepping up to do, you can really make hell for your insurance company. Let's say you call a public adjuster and they take a percentage of what they collect for you. So let's say like Matt over at Paragon Services. He's on our referral list. Look him up. I don't have time to do it right now. Paragon. Look him up on referrallist.com. Okay. Now, you call him and say, I'd like you to review my claim. If Matt believes there's a claim there that's being unpaid, if they don't pay it and it's legitimate, you can get triple the amount. But you start with a public adjuster. So I would do two things. Advise my insurance company. I want to go through the appraisal process. And number two, I would go to Paragon Services on referrallist.com and ask Matt to review your claim. And then I believe you'll at least get some attention to this. Even though previous hail damage has been ignored, the most recent hail damage is still a claim. Now, they're allowed to deduct from that the other damage. So if your roof was previously totaled, so to speak, and the new claim is on there, they're not going to cover anything. But you need a professional to tell you, someone who can distinguish old from new damage. And that's a qualified roofer. And then you get a public adjuster to see if the claim can still be alive. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Dan McKenzie is an attorney at law for estate planning, for wills, for avoiding probate, for facing probate, for trusts. He is an individual with his helpers, and he is a boutique firm, meaning you get individual help planning your estate. I love the way he does business, and you will too. Dan McKenzie. Call for a simple will or for multi-page trusts, 833-CO-PLANS, 833-CO-PLANS, coplans.co.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Dr. Julie at Sound Relief Hearing Center. Are you tired of that ongoing debate with your partner about whether you can't hear or that you never listen? Why not slip on an invisible hearing device, your secret weapon that even your partner won't spot? Let us show you the best options to boost your hearing, your life, and maybe even your relationship. At Sound Relief, we will not...
Hey, Tommy, can you do the Denver regen? I can't find a mark.
Yeah, of course I can.
Soundrelief.com.
Of course I can.
All right, nice. Here you go.
.com.
DenverRegen.com. You know I love them for stem cell therapy and more. And they do now treatment for neuropathy. DenverRegen.com. Yes, if you have peripheral neuropathy, tingling and numbness in your fingers and toes and arms and legs, they work on neuropathy, and they do it with stem cell therapy. DenverRegen.com. You know, if you are injured in a car accident, wow, what the heck, you may experience neuropathy. One thing you are going to experience, though, are insurance companies trying to down your claim, trying to dismiss your claim, trying to make as little as possible of your claim. And that's where you need the help of John Fuller. Here's what I love about John Fuller. He's a personal injury attorney that truly puts the personal in it, meaning he will talk to you up front before you even hire him or anyone and talk to you about your case. So upon the initial call, say, I want to talk to John. They'll get your call to John, and then you can talk to him and ask any questions you want. No other attorney does that before you engage them. See, John will do that. Then if you decide to hire him, it's on a percentage fee basis. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. The Art of Granite will give you a price on the phone without ever coming to your house because they know most of these jobs are going to fall into a certain category. And if it's a lot of weird twists and turns, they may ask for a pick on your smartphone. But whether it be granite or any natural stone or any man-made material, they do it all and they give prices on the phone. You are about 2 or 3 weeks from getting brand new counters by simply calling them now and loving the price. 303-386-5919. Tear out and haul away is always free. And when you do the kitchen, you usually get the bathroom done free along with other incentives. Get your price right now. 303-386-5919, theartofgranite.com.
Thank you. 3 minutes.
See, I've heard of that where like you go to another country and you have to get like a SIM card over there. But I don't know if you lose all your contacts.
I'm going to call. Don't get confused. I'm going to call somebody on my phone.
That should go well.
And I'm going to put them up here.
That'll go well.
You stop that. You are such a mean person.
I'm being supportive. That's going to go well.
Oh.
I thought they had to know about being on the air.
Well, I mean, I am going to. I already got his approval. What the fuck? Are you teaching me how to do talk radio after 50 years? Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay.
Tell me what else I need to do
today.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you need a list?
Just shut up.
Hey, I'm not Shannon.
Hello, Water Pros, is Paul.
Paul, I'm going to put you on hold, okay? And then I'm going to come to you.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Was that low when you answered, or was it good?
Good.
Okay.
Oh.
Is that me?
Oh, crap.
That's not me.
It's not me.
Not me.
Okay, it was him. Okay, I guess he just disconnected himself. Let's try this again.
Hello, sir.
Now Tom can't hear him.
I can't hear Tom.
Right.
Hello.
Tom, hit the button.
At the tone, 17 hours, 21 minutes, coordinated universal time.
Are you getting the tone for time?
Shannon, are you fucking with me, or is that you doing that or not? I need to know, seriously.
It's me.
Okay, I fucking, that doesn't help me when I'm trying to figure this goddamn shit out.
You're doing great.
Yeah, fuck you. That's not the time to fuck around, is when I'm having problems connecting.
Well, when the hell else am I can't do it like at 7 p.m. I only got 40 more minutes with you.
Shut up.
All right.
And I got yelled at, too.
The atomic clock in Boulder. I love the atomic clock. At the tone, the time will be Tom is really fucking pissed. Meep.
Oh my God!
Oh, that was
you
fun.
are diabolical.
I'm already going to hell.
I just want to see if I have enough time to get him back on.
Seconds away. Here we come.
Never mind.
Not kidding.
Okay, fine.
Use Revive now. It works.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Kelly Kachina, I know now we're going to get Snow because I used her actual name. I never use her name. Kachina,
What?
get Paul Dowding on from waterpros.net.
Okay.
I tried to do it off the, during the break. It did not go well. So just get him on the air. I got some questions for him. We also have Adam with us from Best Way Insulation. And what we've been talking about there's a lot of rebates available that can really cut down the cost of your project. And the best way to do it is to get one of the approved contractors like Best Way Insulation to analyze your house. They'll make suggestions and then look for the rebates. So really, it's one-stop shop. And if you need upgrades and insulation, a good part of it can be paid for with rebates. So in addition to rebates, Adam, with Best Way Insulation, what else helps people? Now, do they get any tax credits?
Yeah, so there's a tax credit currently. Now that can change, but currently there is a tax credit.
In addition to rebates.
Yeah, as an addition. I do recommend people contact their accountant and talk that over with them. And but it's on the material portion. So for us, when we calculate roughly with people how much of a tax credit they'll get, it's usually around half the project. Sometimes it can be up to like 2/3 of the project.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So it'd be very big.
Does that have to be in relation to a solar system or not?
No. This is
completely on its own.
Yeah. Completely
tax credits. So with rebates from utility companies and tax credits, there is a really, really good chance that you're getting this stuff for like half price or less.
Oh, yeah. Less. Yeah.
Less than half price.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about radiant heat barriers are never finished. Somebody wanted to know about the foil that people sell to put up in the attic. They put it shiny side up. It's like this solar blanket. They call them in camping, and supposedly supposed to reflect heat out of the house. Good insulation in the attic will do the same thing. It'll keep heat from entering the home, and it'll keep cold from entering the home. It'll keep heat from escaping the home, and it'll keep cold from escaping the home. So it does what it's supposed to do, a barrier. That's regular insulation. So what does this foil do, if anything? First of all, what is it? It's what they call that solar blanket.
Yeah, so radiant heat barriers is the main term. That there's a lot of companies that make some form of it.
They're for real, though.
Yeah, now they do work. The problem is in Colorado, we only have about 90 days that they possibly could work, whereas insulation works on about 300 or so days out of the year versus 90 days with.
Why does it? I don't understand. Why would a radiant heat barrier, if it works, why would it only work 90 days a year?
Yeah, because it has to do with the solar from the heat from the sun. So that the sun, first of all, is at a different angle over your roof in the summertime. So that's part of it. But essentially, it's days that are over 75 degrees of your house. So we don't. When you look at it through the year, for both during the day and at nighttime, there aren't a lot of days that it's over that 75 degrees constantly in Colorado versus
what do you mean over? What do you mean 75 degrees? Wait, so you're saying that where the attic would be 75 degrees hotter?
Right. Well, not hotter. So your thermostat in your house is set at whatever you have it.
Okay, let's say during the summer it's set at 70.
70. So radiant heat barriers will only really help your house when the temperature gets over that 70 degrees. When you are in the wintertime and it's 10 degrees outside, they do not help at all with anything.
So, but they will help some in the summer.
They do, and they do
reflect
help.
heat.
Yeah, but areas like Texas, Arizona, Florida, they're recommended as much or sometimes even more than insulation.
I see, because you constantly have the solar penetration.
Yeah.
But in Denver, it works. It will work during the summer.
Right, but because of the cost of it, so we're looking at
you don't get the payback.
Yeah, it's much less. It's about less than 25% of the payback that you get from insulation.
Now, I'm not talking about doing it in place of insulation, but if you did it in addition to insulation, there's no harm to it.
No, it will.
But
now
people oversold it though. They made it sound like instead of insulation.
Yeah, and now I do know this as well. When you install it in your house, two things have to happen. You have to install it properly, and that means not create a bunch of holes when you hang it. So a lot of companies will use like a staple hammer or staple gun, put it up and put all these holes. Well, now you're degrading that material. It needs to go in, it needs to be sealed after you do it. So a lot of companies don't do it right. That's one. And then also when you do put in the radiant heat barrier, a lot of people don't know this, you do increase your chance of your house getting struck by lightning. So,
what?
Yes, you do. That is the truth.
When it's inside the attic?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
Yes. It conducts for whatever reason.
But it's underneath a roof.
But it's under the roof. But where I've seen several cases where people put it up I know there was one out in Parker that was done. We don't do them, so just so you know, but it was done, and the guy actually called us like, I had it done last week. The company won't come. I need it out now because his house got struck by lightning like the week after they put it up. So
wow. So okay. So,
I don't know that the.
But your recommendation, installation and air sealing are the two primary ways to help your house.
Yeah, they're the most cost effective for sure.
Okay. And then we talked about attic fans, and I want to elaborate on this after some words from our sponsors, but I truly want to talk about attic fans because what you're saying is there are a lot of people who are who have attic fans that are doing them no good.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, you have to know what you're doing.
Okay, and we'll talk about that. And then what about rodents in the attic? You said there's some scams going around.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of this. I got a lot of calls where.
Okay, so what do people do?
So that somebody comes by their door, knocks, says, "Hey, I'm just checking. There's rodents in the area, and we want to check it out." Or
we were at a neighbor's house, and they had a lot of rodents or squirrels. And it can do thousands of dollars in damage. So then what?
So then they go up there, they take pictures of things that could look like excrement and say, "Oh, this is what you have." But I've seen, from my view, there has been some, yes. But there is definitely a push for stuff that actually doesn't need to be done.
Okay.
They're seeing roofing debris, not rodent excrement. Or another is like they'll take their finger and kind of poke it a hole in and say, "Oh, they're burrowing holes." Well, they're burrowing holes. They'd make holes. They'd make a nest, and there would be evidence of excrement.
There are legit guys. There are legit people that can screen.
Oh yes,
definitely for rodents. And but definitely, I've said this before. Never, ever, ever use people who knock at your door. Never. Excuse me. I shouldn't say that. I'm not saying never to use them. What I'm saying is don't let the knock at the door be the impetus for you using them. Do not. If they knock at your door and say, "We're checking for rodents in the area," your neighbors have had some attic rodents and it's been really devastating, and you can catch them or nip it in a bud. If you get a question like that, what you say to them, this is what I always recommend, whether it be roofing or any other kinds of calls at your door. You say, "Thank you for bringing this topic up. I will look into it and I'll put you on the list." In other words, they can go on the list if you want, but don't choose them just because they knocked on your door. And I'll tell you why. If you had a fishbowl of contractors, two fishbowls, one are people who knock at your door, and the other are people who you call. The chances of being ripped off are mostly in the fishbowl that knock at your door. So I'm not saying that they're all bad. I'm just saying it's the universe where people rip you off, more so than when you go out shopping and do the proper screening. I've had some questions on odors in water and other questions I'm going to bring up after this, and Paul at waterpros.net will answer them. There are people now, more than ever, talking about odors in water, and not just from wells. What the hell is that all about? We'll talk about that and more coming up. I'm Tom Martino.
Yep.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Woodley's Fine Furniture.
Yeah, freeways not too bad for us. We're still dealing with one accident eastbound 6th Avenue, the ramp to southbound 25, which is still backed up to Federal. I-25 has been pretty slow through there also. In fact, we've got some slowing I-25 south from I-70 through Spear, 270 out of Commerce City, and the east side of I-70 out near Tower. Some delays there with some road work. And, of course, in the foothills, we're still jamming down Floyd Hill, just closed off the westbound side at the Veteran Memorial Tunnels. Rock scaling continues. Day-long project there, but heading west right now, you can't get through. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Woodley's Fine Furniture, specializing in handcrafted Colorado-made furniture, custom upholstery, solid wood, and the most comfortable leather furniture imaginable. You will not find better built furniture in Colorado than at Woodley's. Visit woodleys.com today.
The best run company I know, one of them is Excel Roofing, because there is zero risk to consumers. I love a business that goes by their reputation alone and their ability to earn your business each and every day. They don't have to use penalties or scare tactics. Excel Roofing will never make you sign anything to check your roof, whether it be for repairs, they do repairs, or for complete roofs. They will never ask you to sign anything. And then when they come up with a contract, it'll be fully detailed down to everything they're using and the price. And there will be no penalty clause, and there would be no money up front, not your first insurance check, nothing. That is the only contract you'll be asked to sign. And if your insurance doesn't pay, they'll back out. What I'm saying to you is they're complete safety. You don't pay a cent until you're content. No other roofing company can brag that. excelroofing.com, 303-761-6400, 303-761-6400. If you're in trouble with the law, maybe you did something stupid, maybe you're falsely accused, I don't want to make light of it. A DUI, a massive speeding ticket, traffic problem, or maybe a fight with your neighbor, maybe at a bar. Look, at whatever it is, if you need a criminal defense attorney, we've done the shopping for you. Don't ever shop under pressure. Joe Lazzara, Lazzara, Lazzara Legal. You can find him at referralist.com, Lazzara. What Joe Lazzara will do is talk to you free of charge up front on any charge. And then if you decide to hire him, it will be on a flat rate basis for the whole case. You can't ask for better than that. Full transparency. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
So I got Paul on. Tell him I'll be right to him.
Hang on, I'll see if he's there.
I'm hoping he's still.
Oh, crap.
Did you just disconnect him?
No. Oh. I didn't hit his line, but get him back. Somehow we did actually hang up on him, but maybe he was punched up.
He was.
All right, everything's fine. Just call Paul.
Call Saul?
Better call Saul.
Disconnect him.
All right. Very excited. Tomorrow I'm going to chauffeur Kelly to a very intimate doctor's appointment.
Yes. How fun is that? You might meet your next Mrs. Scott.
Yep.
What happened to the cabinet meeting?
I mean, I guess it's a little like when you take a used car to Kevin to check out before you buy it. That's probably what I could have the doctors do while I'm there.
I think you get out the window and get on the bridge.
Doc, excuse me, can you check out this little red Corvette for me? Make sure it's...
Make sure all the wheels
tight.
are...
Yep. Want the door to shut without any leaks. Ah. Little red Corvette.
I still don't understand why we don't have water cannon trucks in this country.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You mean like...
For protests.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We don't have those, huh?
No. I don't know of any city that does. Probably there's too many mean people like me that would put BBs in the water.
I never thought about that before.
putting BBs in the water? No.
Well, or
It's on the phone.
why the
Yeah.
U.S. doesn't have those trucks?
Ding dang it.
That would clear off a highway quicker.
Mm-hmm.
No DoorDash today, Tom?
Yeah, I was just thinking about what I want. I don't know what I want because I got to feed the three of us, so I'm not sure what to do. I have a problem anyway because food with me is hit or miss.
Do you lose your taste with the chemo?
Yep. Worse than that. Things just, as soon as I taste them, I start gagging. There's no way. There's wait.
Here we go.
It's hard. Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Want to go to Paul Dowdy, had a question. Jeff, hang on, I'll get to you next. The caller, Paul, is our expert with waterpros.net, and I had a question. Paul, now more than ever, I've been getting people, when they hear about you and they know, and I always talk about waterpros.net, for the best water systems, lowest prices. I've had more than a few that is odd for me that don't talk about the taste of I don't know if they talk about the taste of water, but they talk about an odor. Now, how do I put this? Is this a problem with water? Has this been increasing odor in waters? And what does odor come from? Paul Dowding with waterpros.net. Go ahead.
Thanks, Tom. It comes from two things. If you're on city water, it's a chloramine that uses as a sanitizing product. Chlorine, part of the chloramine, is an oxidizer. So it could be a musty iron smell because the well water or the water source that the municipality is using has a ferrous iron that the chlorine oxidizes. That can create an odor. I'm seeing a larger and larger number of, the straight swimming pool chlorine smell in water.
Okay.
So that could be a factor because of, the fact that they have to sanitize it. They have to use levels of chlorine to meet the needs of the water. And then with all the rain that we've gotten, a lot of people could see, smelling come from iron in the water is very common. Sulfur, H2S gas. But most likely it's just, a lot of iron buildup on the aerator of their faucet.
Now, is there a way to treat for odors? For example, one of the most common ones we hear about is that egg smell, that hard-boiled egg smell, or if you want to get crude, it's a fart smell. I mean, what do you do about that?
So, first thing we do is we put a dual tank, water filtration system in, and that'll remove it. 9 times out of 10, it's iron buildup. If it happens to be H2S gas, then, a simple backwashing carbon filter complemented by a water softener will eliminate that. You don't want to chlorinate your well. Chlorination is a short-term solution, doesn't solve the problem, but it could create a bigger issue in the long run because chlorine could eat away at that, limestone or whatever foundation that's surrounding the pump. Chlorine basically is like putting peroxide on the wound. So chlorine definitely could create a bigger issue than what you had before without chlorination in a well.
Okay, so Paul, don't authorities, I remember one time when I was building a house, they required me to chlorinate the well.
Well, you have to do that when you put the pump in. That's absolutely, you got to sanitize. When you're putting a pump in, you sanitize the well because the pump, you want to make sure that there's no bacteria, so that's a standard practice. However, a lot of folks, if they do a well water test and they come back with a bacteria positive on a bacteria test, they shock the well, but that's only a short-term solution. And 9 times out of 10, that bacteria is going to come back. And so you could get a false sense of security, thinking, I shocked my well, the bacteria is gone, but that's not necessarily true. But on new construction, Tom, you absolutely have to chlorinate when you're putting in your well pump.
Okay, got it. Now, Somebody wanted to know, and I saved this for when you were on the show, but I didn't get to it. Someone wants to know if they're buying a new home, should they do a water test or should they just simply put a system in? Now, I know you sell systems. You'd love if they just put a system in. But truly, what would we, a lot of people have their home inspected, Paul. They have their foundation inspected. They have all kinds of things inspected. But what about the water? It's amazing to me how many home inspections do not include a water test.
No, I totally agree. I think in today's world, especially, both if you're buying a home and that has a municipal water supply, or especially with well water, absolutely get it tested. And in some cases, Tom, as you know, well water, some underwriters require, water tests to make sure the water is potable.
Okay.
But I think it's smart. Yeah, I think it's smart to do. And eventually what's going to happen, this is something I'll share with you. There's doctors right now that we had someone call. Doctors are ordering microplastic tests on patients, believe it or not, because of the contamination in the water supply. So that's something that, I'm not surprised, but we had some folks call us to express concern because of possible creating medical issues. And there's a cardiologist here in town that's absolutely telling patients that they should get tested because they're finding the buildup in the arteries of the heart. So that's something that, unfortunately, it's the world we live in today.
All right, so thank you very much. That's Paul the Waterman, my expert, waterpros.net, 303-862-5554. I'm going to make a recommendation to people. I always tell people to when it comes to real estate, you get a home inspection, of course, and if there's any issue at all with the foundation, you get a separate structural inspection. And I'm going to give you a little rundown of how I buy houses and how I get great prices. And I'm going to share it with you, the technique I use. Truly, I want to share this with you. But what I want to say about water is, to me, it should be a standard part of buying a house. Absolutely, positively. Okay, Jeff, what's going on with you, Jeff? Welcome to the show.
Hello?
Hey, man, what's going on, Jeff?
Well, I bought a truck, a 2018 Chevy Silverado from car lot Alfred Automotive in Arvada. I had gotten in touch with them originally because I had $500 down. I was trying to get into something that I could take to work.
So this is a 2018 Chevy Silverado.
Correct.
How many miles?
157,000.
Okay, so you're asking for trouble no matter what. I mean, in other words, and I'm just going to say it like it is. If you buy anything with over 100,000 miles, you will have problems. If you buy anything with over 150,000 miles, you will have major problems. And if you buy anything over 200,000 miles, you're lucky if you can drive it off the lot. So, where did you buy this from? What was the name of the place?
Alfred Automotive.
Okay, and where is that?
It's in Arvada, close by Wadsworth and Ralston.
And you bought it, I imagine. When did you buy it?
A week ago Monday.
Okay.
Just last Monday.
Last week. Okay, so last week you bought this, and you bought it as is, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
With an aftermarket warranty on it.
Okay. Oh, okay. So what kind of an aftermarket warranty?
It says it covers everything pretty much. I have to pay for like fluids and things like that.
Yeah, I doubt it covers everything. First of all, I'll tell you what it doesn't cover, Jeff. Any pre-existing condition. Can we agree on that? Did you look at the exclusions?
Yeah, you're right there, and that's where I'm having some problems.
Okay. Well, how much did you pay for this warranty?
I don't know because it was included in the price.
Okay, good. Hold on, and let's come back and talk about that coming right up. So I want to go over this because this is we are having more and more and more and more and more calls about aftermarket warranties than any other topic when it comes to used cars. More on that after this.
Yep.
I wanted to take a
now, Impact Traffic.
I'm trying to be
from
good
the
for
Superstar
Shannon.
Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is
Trying to be
sponsored by
really good for
Macy's
Shannon.
Backstage.
Really trying
This
to
is
help.
this is how I want to remember you, Tom.
6th Avenue, the ramp to south on 25, which is still backed up to Federal. I-25 has been pretty slow.
Really
through
trying
there
to help.
Also, in fact, we've got some slowing I-25
Trying to
south
be
from
good.
I-70 through
Really
Spear,
trying to help.
270 out of Commerce City, and the east side of
These are the good times, Tom.
I'll shut
some
up.
delays there with some road work. And, of course, in the foothills, we're still jamming down Floyd Hill, just closed off the westbound side at the Veteran Memorial Tunnels. Rock scaling continues. Day-long project there, but heading west right now, you can't get through. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside your Macy's store. And right now, you'll find the latest summer styles all for under $25. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. So don't wait. Find a location at macy'sbackstage.com.
I want you to join me for a seminar on financial investing into becoming a landlord. Vestera Turnkey is having a little get-together on the 19th of this month. It's not your usual boring seminars where they preach to you. This is where they explain the program in a few minutes and take questions from the audience. I'll be part of it to tell you how you can use your retirement funds to do this. And Vestera Turnkey will be there to talk about their program. July 19th. Find out more, mybiggestreturn.com, mybiggestreturn.com. Sheridan Auto Tech could avoid problems with used cars. We hear about this all the time where people buy used cars and they think they're covered by warranties. They're not. I want to tell you that Sheridan Auto Tech does a pre-buy inspection on used cars. They're wonderful people. For like $120, you get a couple hours of examination and inspection of this car or truck that you're thinking of buying. SheridanAutotech.com. Of course, they can do ordinary maintenance and repairs for all of your cars, including those even under warranty. Find out more, 303-455-7242. I use them and I recommend them to everyone. 303-455-7242.
All right. What's going on with Jeff? Am I getting somebody?
Not yet.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Love that plastic water bottle on the desk next to your guest. And Paul on the phone. That's a non-leaching bottle.
I didn't think of that.
Oh, man. My helicopter's been down for... Hey, Chopper.
Yes, sir.
My helicopter had a turbine wheel go bad.
I thought it was a... Sue said it was a compressor?
Yeah, the compressor wheel. One of the
okay, yeah. All right.
One of the main ones.
Do they go by 1, 2, 3 fans in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the little coffee can I'm talking about, the main compressor.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not even going to discuss what it costs. I don't even want to talk about it. No. I swear to God, I gotta figure out if I'm going to keep doing this helicopter thing at my age. Look, 71-year-old cancer survivor. Do I really need a helicopter?
Could be kind of a kick-ass Uber thing if you want to start doing that.
I'm thinking about getting a partner maybe, or just selling it. I don't know. But you can't give up on everything. I kind of love them, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to guess what it was going to cost.
No. It's it's mind-boggling. It will boggle your mind, literally, because some people said, "What, are you buying a used helicopter?" No, just a wheel.
Yeah.
Do you know what a major on that costs at the hot section? $300.
You're kidding.
No, $300,000.
Wowzer.
$300,000 for a hot section. If you know, that's if you're lucky. That's
I know
why
a guy named Zelensky that'll pay you to come.
That's
drop
why
down.
there are only 6 private owners in Denver. The rest are corporations and people with brains. I have no brains.
You're kind of above average, Tom.
I used to go on trips and all that, but I'm being honest with you. My age right now, I don't use it near as what I should use it. I mean, no, I don't. The truth of the matter is, if I broke it down to per hour of flight, it would be so ridiculous.
Stand by, buddy.
I'd be
by.
called an idiot.
And listen now.
Hi, Tom Martino. We left off with Jeff. First, Jeff is and Jeff, I don't want you to hang up because we're going to discuss this at length. He bought a car, 2018 Chevy Silverado last week, 150,000 miles from Alfred Automotive in Arvada. He bought an aftermarket warranty, and he's going to talk about that. But Deputy D wanted to. What did you want to say, Deputy D?
Tom, while you were talking with Jeff, I looked up Alfred Automotive's website, and they have about 20 used vehicles for sale. Every single one of them comes with what's labeled a free 6-month bumper-to-bumper warranty.
Wow.
Now, the term bumper-to-bumper warranty...
Is that the one you're talking about, Jeff, that free one that you got, bumper-to-bumper?
No, that's something else.
Oh, so you did not get the free 6-month bumper-to-bumper?
I don't believe so. The truck that they put me into was not the one that I wanted. And originally, when I went in with the 500, they changed their mind and said they wanted 3,000. And they called me back 2 days later and said,
"But why? Okay, so Jeff, you had the
power.
You had the power not to switch trucks. You said it's not the one I wanted. Well, why'd you buy it then?"
I needed a vehicle, and there
were no other dealers available. Jeff, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, and I promise you, our ultimate goal here is to help you. But I also want to help other people listening. You said you went in for a truck, and they wouldn't give you the one you wanted, and they switched you. You had the power to walk away.
Right.
Okay, so you decided to go along with this 2018 Chevy Silverado with 150,000 miles. Now, what did they tell you about this? It was as is, but they said it comes with a warranty?
They said, yeah, it comes with the warranty. And there was some service lights coming up on the dash, and they said that, all that will be covered, with the warranty.
Wait, so you mean to tell me you had lights on the dash before you even bought it?
Yeah, it's minor stuff. I mean, it really is. It's nothing to do with anything major.
Okay, good.
And they said they would, get it taken care of.
And they put that in writing. Since the warranty said no pre-existing conditions, if you read it, no pre-existing conditions, they said they'll take care of it anyway. Did you get that part in writing where they said they would take care of it even though the warranty doesn't cover it? You did put that in writing.
Yeah, they said they told me they would have their mechanic look at it.
What does that mean? So, Jeff, I need specifics.
Right.
You knew that you were buying a warranty. The warranty excluded pre-existing conditions, but they said they would take care of it or they would have their mechanic look at it. What exactly did they tell you?
That they would have their mechanic take care of it.
They said, we will have our mechanic take care of it. Did you get that anywhere documented?
No, because that was just came to be here over the last couple of days. Because I started.
No, I'm asking before the sale. They told you the mechanic would take care of it before you bought it or after you bought it.
The problems that I noticed before I bought it, they said that the mechanic would take care of it.
And how did you? Okay, did they put that in writing? Mechanic will fix lights coming on.
No.
What were the lights that came on?
It was the trailer brake lights.
That's not bad. Okay, that's minor. What else? That's why I want to know this. What else?
Right. I'm trying to remember what the other one was.
But they were minor. They were
minor.
minor.
Stuff written down is outside.
Okay.
Yeah, it's minor stuff.
Okay, good. So far, we got you buying a used Chevy Silverado without getting it checked out with 157,000 miles with an aftermarket warranty that doesn't cover pre-existing conditions. Now, tell us about the big problem, the one you called about.
Okay, well, it's not so much even the service on that. The first day that I went in there, where they told me they wanted 3,000 down, they marked the contract that I signed down with that day. So they call me back last night and tell me that I have to sign a new contract, and I'm holding off on signing the new contract.
Okay.
Now this thing's like
okay, good. That's
bigger
good.
problem.
Now there's a reason they told you they need a new contract, and it's probably because they screwed up. I want to analyze that for you, Jeff, to see if we can help you. Because if they screwed up, maybe it's your chance to get out of this. I'm Tom Martino. We'll talk about Jeff's fiasco of a car deal coming up and more on the Troubleshooter Show, including more on insulation.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, we also need a new contract signed.
I don't know what to do about food. I know. Fuck. I just don't know what to do.
Oh,
What do you
that's
feel like
an
eating?
advertisement. I don't
that's gonna
have
be screwed
the
up. Okay.
access for that. That's done by a completely different department.
Okay.
You can, yeah,
how
they'll
about you?
probably be coming
I'm good
up
for now,
very
but
soon.
thank you.
We have
You
another
don't want
couple
anything?
hours of the show, so I'm sure
Even
they'll come on.
if I got some tacos, you wouldn't fill it. You wouldn't
Okay.
eat them.
I would eat the inside of one of the tacos.
No, unfortunately
Let me see
not.
what I can find here.
I don't eat carbs.
Okay, no problem. Bye.
But I do love tacos. And the best
And
part is what's
they
inside
wanted
the carbs.
the number to that
Oh, yeah.
hopscotch
I love the crunch and the mouthfeel, of course, but the flavor is in that.
I just got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Do
I'm
not
just I'm
ask.
so fucked up when it comes to
I'm gonna go
eating.
heat up some lunch.
Forget about New York Daily News. You loved it.
Yeah, but that to me now today
Doesn't sound good.
makes me sick thinking about it. Isn't that weird? I honest to God, I can't.
My grandma's
on chemo.
going through chemo.
It's like one day I'll want something, the next day it'll make me sick to think about it.
Yeah, she couldn't have like leftovers for that same reason.
Okay, you got it then. You know what I'm talking about. I swear to God, there are some days I just crave something. The other days it will make me sick thinking about it. It really does, man. I don't know, bro. I'm just. For some reason, and I never ate it before, Mexican food, I would go with people and just have some fajitas and just eat the meat. I would never eat Mexican food. Now, I love Mexican food.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's everybody's one of their
Yeah.
favorites.
I will say that's what I love about this country. We had an exchange student come from Spain stay with us this year, and like just talking to her about their culture, and she's like, "We just have these foods, like, and that's our food. Like here, you got all kinds of food.
Yeah,
from
every culture, every country, including some made-up ones.
Right.
we have chains even. How good is that?
Yeah.
That's got nothing to do with Chinese food. It is.
Well, she never had Mexican food before, and she was like, "There's so many different kinds of like Tex-Mex and
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
California Mexican,
Absolutely.
Colorado green chili. She was just
the barbecue places and oh god, and all the pizza options. You got Chicago, Detroit, regular, thin
Dragon
crust,
coming in
and,
now.
You know,
Yeah, I heard the bell ringing.
Whatever, yeah.
Oh,
It's
already?
amazing.
we're pretty lucky.
But I'm telling you, man.
There's nothing here that has stuff you can.
Tom, don't worry about me at all. I'm not hungry. I'm serious. I was going to eat the inside of a taco to be polite.
Okay. All right. No,
Thank you for.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
and I don't mean to be disrespectful.
No, hell. You look at you. It is.
I got to lose 15 pounds in 3 weeks.
Oh, jeez.
I can do it.
So when he does like that smoke alarm one.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just
Yeah,
gets
I bet.
mad.
And you want them to be.
Yes. Yes. I don't want to end up on the news.
Yeah.
show's pretty fascinating. I want to say that.
Oh, thank
You
you.
can tell you've been doing it a long, long time.
Well, I couldn't find his truck on the Wayback Machine, fortunately.
Are you there, Tom?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. Yep.
Hey, if you put your show name on the chopper, would that help anything on, taxes and?
I already write off everything I can on that.
Oh.
Without, you don't have to have a name. That's also a misunderstanding that putting a name on something makes it commercial. It doesn't.
Now, I don't want you to laugh at this, but you've been there, you've done it, same as I have. Have you ever thought of a high-end super gyro chopper just for the fun of flying?
I had one.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
I had a gyro before the helicopter. That's what got me interested in helicopters.
Oh, well, that was a long time ago then.
Yeah, yeah. I had a beautiful gyro. If you look it up, look up the, it's called Xenon, Xenon, Xenon gyrocopter.
I will.
So what broke on yours? Tom, what broke on your helicopter?
A turbine wheel, which is in the jet engine.
Oh God, that sounds expensive.
And so each wheel compresses the air,
Yeah.
and then it goes into the big compressor.
And it broke?
I wonder how you find that.
Just Google it and put gyro chopper on it.
No, I mean, I wonder how you find it. How the turbo wheel was broken.
Oh, he's probably doing an annual or something, and they came across it.
Yeah, because he hasn't been flying lately, or since before his surgery.
Here it is here. Xenon. Xenon? Well, that is a nice one.
I'm here, Dragon. Woo!
I'm not going to agree to all this.
All right. Salt and pepper.
Now, that would be a gyro chopper I'd fly in. The Xenon 2.
So I'm waiting for you to basically take one of these Viking cruises.
We did a river cruise down the Nile in Egypt. Does that count?
Kind of. Was that a Viking one?
No.
Oh, okay.
But similar experience when you're on the river in a much smaller boat.
I'm just
I
surprised
bet you he
that,
could buy one of these gyro
like,
choppers.
not
What
one
he
of these
paid
boats
for.
have-
Isn't that a great thing?
The gyro?
Yeah. Did you see
That
the
is-
Xenon?
Yes, I'm looking at it. I think you need one.
Mine was, well, I had one. Mine was red.
Yeah. Actually, I'm looking at a red one.
They're really nice gyros, man. But I did a lot of customization on mine too.
No doubt.
And it was really wonderful.
I don't want to sound uneducated, but I've never seen one at Centennial.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. We got a full house. We got Deputy Chopper, Deputy Dollar in the studio. We have Deputy D with me here. We also have a guest from Best Way Insulation talking about insulating scams, insulating knowledge, rebates, tax credits. The word is call them and they'll coordinate what the credits and the rebates are, and you'll be shocked at what it will cost with the reduction. I mean, you'll be shocked with your discounts in a good way for getting your house up to snuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. I want to talk to Jeff right now. Now, listen, Jeff, I'm not picking on you. Jeff is one of, I would say at least 20 people in the last few weeks who have purchased high mileage vehicles with an extended warranty that doesn't work. That, if I wanted to sum it up. So we're talking about high mileage vehicles. We're talking about extended warranties that give a false sense of security. We're talking about promises made that were never documented, and people ended up with a problem. Okay? I don't know how to put this, but it is one of the biggest problems lately. Okay? And in fact, I'm even making a note that I need to post on this. So what happens when you buy a car with these extended warranties? Well, I'm going to tell you the very first thing. They don't cover pre-existing conditions. Now, I'm going to ask you something. On a car or truck with 157,000 miles, how many problems would not be pre-existing? How many? Probably none. Probably none. So what are the chances of new problems coming up? New problems? Well, pretty good chance, but most of them will be pre-existing. So Jeff bought from Alfred Automotive a 2018 Chevy Silverado with 157,000 miles. By the way, if you buy a car with 100,000 or more, you're going to have problems. There's no doubt. In fact, there's absolutely no doubt. Okay, absolutely, positively no doubt you will have problems. At 150, you will have major problems, and over 200,000, you will have catastrophic problems. So there is, and I'm telling you, and I'm probably more credible than any source there is because I talk to people on a daily basis, and I've been doing it for more than 50 years. Now, here's the bottom line. He bought it. He stuck with it. Let's help him now. Let's try to help him. He talked about the warranty, and he had stuff to add. So what is going on now? This is the problem I want to know now. So what just happened, or what caused you to call us? Jeff.
Because I'm trying to negotiate with this guy to get these problems taken care of.
What problems? So you didn't tell me yet what the problems were. What are the problems? This is what I want to know. What happened? You bought it last week. What could possibly happen in a week?
Okay, the brakes, there's no ABS brakes at all. When I come up to a stoplight and put the brakes on, it screeches to a stop. It's dangerous.
Oh, okay, but why did you, hold on, Jeff, why didn't you have it checked out by a mechanic before you bought it?
Well, because it is high mileage, I knew I was going to have problems with it, and
okay, but why didn't you have it checked out? So if you knew you were going to have problems with it, then this ABS brake problem should be of no surprise to you.
The problems that I expected to have, from the test drive, I mean, this is over and above that. And so the guy said that he would take care of these things.
Wait, Jeff, wait, man, you go too fast. He said he's going to take care of these things. Are these things, quote, these things are things you discovered after you purchased it?
Right.
Okay, hold on. Okay, now, Jeff, so far you've told me one thing that you discovered after you purchased it, and that's the ABS. What else did you discover after you purchased it?
It's cutting out when you accelerate.
Okay,
really
so
bad.
you have, is it stalling or stopping or what? Or is it hesitating?
It's just cutting out. Like you're accelerating, and then the acceleration's gone, for a couple seconds, and then it starts back up again.
Is cutting out during acceleration. And this did not happen when you tried it out?
No.
Okay. Okay, and what else? Go ahead. So I got the ABS brakes, cutting out during acceleration. What else?
The only other thing is, I need to buy me a gas cap. That's it.
And what's wrong with the gas cap?
It's going to run different when there isn't one.
But
and
you knew that.
I didn't see that until I went to put gas in it. I didn't see that until I went to put gas in it after I bought it.
Jeff, I want you to let me take some liberties here. And Jeff, I swear to God, that my desire is to help you. Okay, it really is. But I'm gonna tell you some hard facts. You did everything stupid you could buying this car. Everything. You could not make more mistakes. First and foremost, it had 157,000 miles. Second, it had lights on. Third, you never even took it to check out, and you probably didn't take it even for a good test drive. What I'm saying to you is, if you bought a vehicle as is, you truly don't have any coverage unless the extended warranty will fix these things, and that's whatever the extended warranty says. But the extended warranty is whatever it says. So now you have, right now, let's talk about the major stuff. The ABS brakes and the cutting out of acceleration. I don't give a damn about the gas cap. You buy your own. But the acceleration and the ABS brakes, what do they say about those two problems?
That their mechanic would look at it and see about taking care of it.
Okay, so what have they done so far?
Nothing.
What do you mean?
They want me to sign this contract before they.
Okay,
before they do
now
anything.
that's where I said going into the break, this might be your out. Why did they say you need to sign? Were they financing you, or were you getting your own financing?
No, they're financing.
Okay, then somehow, somewhere, they can't get the loan purchased. So dealer said it would be $3,000 down, and they would find you a loan. Is that what the original paperwork said?
That's what they told me. Well, they told me they would work with me on 500.
I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about anything verbal anymore. Not one thing. I want to talk about the contract. What does the original contract say? How much down?
$3,000.
And did you put that $3,000 down?
No.
Okay. When were you going to put the $3,000 down?
The deal was I would put $500 cash down, and they would give me a $2,000 dealer rebate and float me the other $500 to be paid this Friday.
So you only had to come out of pocket. You only had to come out of pocket $1,000.
Correct. But what bothers me is after this was all said and done, they told me that the bank was going to call to verify the sale, and that I had to tell them that I put $3,000 down on it.
Well, that's because that's what they require in order to get it purchased. I know what they're doing. They're lying to their bank. They're saying to their bank, this guy's putting $3,000 down, and they're really only getting $1,000 because they want to make you look more credit worthy. You understand that, right? So hang on. They're lying to him. That much we know. They're lying to him. We'll come back and find out if he can get out of this because of those lies. I'm Tom Martino. This thing sucks to high heaven, folks. It sucks. 303-713-8255.
Keep listening for your chance to win $1,000.
So happy about that, believe me.
Every hour, weekdays, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m.
With up to 9 chances a day to win $1,000.
That is crazy.
On Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW. Sponsored by Maverick.
What a refreshing deal. Maverick fans are in for a summer of savings with the 89-cent Fountain Frenzy. Good for all fountain drink sizes up to large. Adventure Club exclusive. Maverick, Adventure's first stop.
You know, with this heat, you want to keep your air conditioning working less. QC, Quiet Cool, that stands for Quiet Cool. QCcolorado.com helps your air conditioner work less by effectively destratifying the air in your home. It brings up cooler air from the bottom, expels the hottest air from the top, and it keeps with these convective currents, keep your air more even. That helps your air conditioning. That helps it right there. But it does more than that. If you use it in the morning with cool air or in the afternoon with cool air, you can effectively not use air conditioning. You need to experiment with QCcolorado.com. I do. I use it instead. In other words, you know how a lot of people use they don't turn on their air during the day and it takes hours to cool it down. With this thing, you can cool down your home in the afternoon when you get home from work in a few minutes, and then your air conditioner works less. Find out more, QCcolorado.com. I love these people. QC Colorado, 303-800-3419. Now let's talk about Sheridan Auto Tech. You see what? Did we just have another problem with a used car that this guy would have discovered these problems? He bought them blind. Why? He didn't go to Sheridan Auto Tech for a pre-buy inspection of a used car. Now, Sheridan Auto Tech will help you evaluate the purchase of a used car. They'll also help you with any car or truck that you own for regular maintenance and repairs. People you can trust with great value, convenience, and longevity and honesty. Everything you want in an auto repair facility. Sheridan Autotech.com, 303-455-7242. Shut up! You people with all your fucking sounds. You got the doorbell, you got the smoke detector. There was one other one you had. I forget what it was. Oh, wait.
I can't go number 2 anymore.
That's right. And then you have another one of him now, big minority woman or something. Didn't he say something about a big minority woman? Whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, Drew.
What are you talking about, Tom?
Drew, you had a cut from him talking about a big minority woman.
Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show.
We had that.
Sure. Did you want to talk to Tom about something?
She was a big minority woman.
Okay. Yeah. What's it about?
Didn't you remember that, guys?
She was a big
yeah.
minority
We
woman.
did. Yeah, that's it. I love it.
Okay. What's your name? Joe. All right, Joe. Hang on for me.
This one came in yesterday. It was pretty funny.
Oh.
Lawyer said law degrees, and I have brain damage.
Excellent.
Okay, somebody wants me to talk about crawl space insulation, if it's important or not. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that. This is crazy shit, man. This guy, Jeff. The poor guy, man. He's screwed.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Brittany, and then I'll go to...
You say not to do.
Yeah, everything. See, with Dragon playing that sound, I won't know when my food's really here.
How did I miss?
I'll be running up every 5 seconds to check on it. Okay, I'll be right there. I'll be right there.
Excellent.
Dragon, do you have the Drew calling Fuller an idiot and jerk?
Which one?
Where he was calling John Fuller an idiot.
Oh, I don't
and
have
jerk.
that one, no. But that was a fun one.
That was.
Tell Jeff I'm going to get back to him, but truly I need to take a couple calls in between. Just tell him I'm going to get back to him though, because we want to know. I want to know about this contract, and we can really probably help him there.
Well, let me try to get the contract.
Yeah, good. That'll be good. Keep him on there. I want to look at it.
Jeff, is there any way you can send us
If he can send it.
help@troubleshooter.com so we can review it to get back to you?
I don't remember that. One of the.
So anyway.
Videos. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, I'm going to go back to Jeff when we take a look at that contract. Possibly he's done everything wrong you can when you buy a car or truck. And Brittany, though, you have a question about a landlord or an issue with a landlord. What's going on, Brittany?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
I sure can, Brittany. What's happening?
Oh, a lot. a lot.
All right. Is this a new rental, or have you been there a while?
So we moved in August 31st of last year, and since that day, it has been a nightmare. It's been issue after issue after issue, consistently.
Okay, so what brought the call on today?
So just because it's so many things, reporting any kind of issues to her results in like retaliation. She acts as if we're damaging her property on purpose. She's even stated this. She's extremely rude and condescending. She was supposed to renew our lease. Now she's saying she's not.
Well, hold on now. You know about the new laws, right? That she has to have a reason to not renew your lease.
So now she's saying because she's going to let her son move in, but you can tell very
now,
clearly.
by the way,
like
that is one of the exceptions where she can get rid of you. That's why she's saying that.
Right. But if you look at our correspondences, you can tell it's because of the issues, though. So, like, when we reported a problem to her, it was immediately like, well, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm just going to let my son live there.
Well,
so it's not that she was going.
Did she give you official notice? Did she give you official notice that she's not renewing?
She did, which is fine, honestly, because we want to go. Like, we're tired of
So
going.
then, if you want to go anyway, I assume it's going to be at the end of August, right? Or okay. So if you want to go anyway, what are you calling about today?
Because I am going to seek past damages from her, I believe. I'm trying to see exactly what I can do.
Okay, let's analyze this. What damages are you trying to collect?
So since we've been living here, it's been a health hazard. I have a son who's liver transplant recipient. I have 2 small children. We've had plumbing issues to the point where our house smelled of raw
Yeah, but Brittany,
sewage
we're talking about suing her. Listen carefully. You have to have demonstrable connected damages that are pretty much permanent. I'm not, because, tell me what damages you have.
So the fact of living in uninhabitable conditions.
Yeah, but what are your damages? Okay, if it's uninhabitable, that is contrary to you. You are already living there. You can't be living there and claiming it's uninhabitable. You have to have damages. By the way, Brittany, you might think at the end of this call, I was a pain in the ass. But what I'm telling you is I will be truthful with you. For you to bring a damages claim against a landlord for any kind of health issue, it's going to take a lot of evidence. You can't just say, we've been living blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. I need to know that you have a doctor who said living there caused this problem to your son, and it's not going to be cured, and as a result, he's permanently disabled from it, or something like that. You have to have real, honest-to-God evidence. You can't just have your opinion, or it can't just be that you're pissed off living in those conditions. Now, if there are things that were intolerable, the question will be asked, Why did you keep living there? If it was a health problem that damaged your son or daughter or kids, the question, the defense will be, well, Your Honor, she kept living there. I know if my kid's health was at risk, I would have moved or I would have left. So I need to know, I want to get right down, Brittany, to what exactly can you pin on the landlord that is a damage? I'm making you do this because if not, you're going to be laughed out of court.
Well, no, that's okay. And there's so much more. Like I said, like that's just one.
That's what I'm asking for. Give me the examples of actual damages. Not that you're pissed off. I want to know actual damages. Go ahead.
Right. So the only thing I can tell you is that since we have lived in this house, my son has had a reoccurring eye infection that we don't know what it's from. She has been refusing to test for mold.
She doesn't have to test. She's not required to test for mold, but you can test for mold.
If there's active like sewage in the bottom of the house, she doesn't have to do that. If there's active plumbing problems and you can see mold.
No, she's not required to. No, but I'm not saying that's good. I mean, I think that sucks. Right. But she's not required. There's nothing that makes her test for anything. Now, if you have active sewage in your house, and I don't know why you're still living there. I mean, have you had any tests done? Any do-it-yourself tests?
No, she doesn't want us to do anything on her own.
She can't. No. She can't stop you from doing a do-it-yourself air test inside your house. She can't stop you. She would never know.
I can call the county inspector and ask them too, which I kind of planned on doing anyways. But this has been like a recurring thing. So like the first issue, it was kind of masked and like, she was trying to brush it under the rug and stuff. And then it got fixed supposedly. Then we had another plumbing issue. So another piece of this is constructive eviction.
Brittany, there is no constructive eviction if you're going at the end of the lease. A constructive eviction is when you break a lease. You're not breaking the lease. You're going to leave at the end of it.
If we find something sooner than later, we might be.
Okay. Then then you have to do it the right way. You have to do it the right way. You can't just call it Okay, here's how you do it the right way. With a constructive eviction, you must give them notice that there's a specific problem that must be addressed. And you tell them what it is and what it will take to address the issue. And you give them a certain amount of time, like 10 days to address the issue. They have to respond to you. If they don't respond to you, then what you will be able to do is you will be able to then say, as a result of this, we are leaving on such and such a date, and then you leave. Now, that's not going to prevent the landlord from coming after you for the rest of the lease. And the constructive eviction is what you do. But the constructive eviction is your defense for leaving early. And most of the time, you can win if you keep documentation of what needs to be done to repair it and the fact that she turned it down. But you must do this in writing and give her 10 days to correct it. And then I'm looking for my exact, I have a document that I posted on this actually that can help. I'm just looking for it right now. And really when I find it, I can email it to you on the steps you take to do a constructive eviction. If you want to leave before August, but it's only next month. Tell me when you want to leave. It's already July 8th. When do you want to leave? Why would you risk a constructive eviction when you only have a month left? I mean, actually, you have 2 months left. When would you be leaving? At the end of July?
Who knows? I mean, if we found something sooner than later, which is a matter too, and we have a large family, so it's not like.
So are you inquiring now about getting out early or suing her? Because to sue for damages, from what you told me, and I'm trying to be honest without hurting your feelings, you don't have a case. Unless you can say that eye infection was caused by this inside the house and the landlord knew about it and refused to address it. What I'm saying to you is there's too much burden on you to try to prove direct damages. First of all, can you even afford it? An attorney's going to cost you a minimum of $5,000 to bring a damages claim. Do you have money to put down as a retainer?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want you to call then. I'm going to give you the name of a real estate attorney who could do this for you. His name is Brad O'Brien, and here's the number. And he would absolutely look at the case and recommend whether or not to move forward. So it won't cost you anything for him to look at it. But then
nice.
if he decides to move forward on a constructive eviction and damages, he will be honest with you. In fact, we ought to get him on right now just to get you a clue without even, if you're willing to hold for a little, I'll get Brad O'Brien on and maybe he can answer your questions directly.
Yeah, because I mean, to be honest, we barely scratched the surface because it's been.
Well, okay, but that's what I'm telling you. Scratch the surface. Go ahead. I'm not giving you a time limit. Go ahead and scratch the surface. Tell me what you're talking about.
Okay, so for instance, right now, all of the tile in the kitchen is cracked, like completely because of waterlogged floors due to a neglected plumbing issue. When we had stated that to her, that's when she says, okay, well, I'm not doing this. You guys are going to have to go. So by reporting an issue, that's more like a retaliation type of thing. She recorded me in my home after I asked her not to, which is illegal.
What do you mean she recorded you in the home? What do you mean, Brittany?
Oh, she recorded me. She was arguing with my fiance about the issue.
What do you mean she recorded you? She recorded your audio or video or both?
Probably both.
She's allowed to do that. In Colorado, you're allowed to videotape or audio tape as long as she was a party to it. Now, she can't hide something in your apartment to do that. But if she's there, she can. What's that?
According to the laws that I've read, if it's a public space, that's true. But in a protected space such as your home, somebody else can't just come into your home and record you.
Hold on. Yes, they can. If they're a party to it, they can. Let me explain what that means, Brittany. If I come into your home and it's your private space and I'm recording you, it's a one-party consent. I'm allowed to consent to it if I'm a party to it. And I am the party doing the recording, so I'm a party to it. Now, what you can do is ask her to leave your home because you're renting it and you have the right to private, quiet enjoyment. But you cannot ask her not to record you because she has a right to record you as a single party consent state. Now, what she also can't do, she can't hide a recording device and leave. In order for you to be legally to legally record conversations, even without the consent of the other party, you have to be part of it. So if your landlord is recording you and you don't like it, you can ask the landlord to leave the place, just leave us. But she is allowed to record anything she is party to. So in other words, I know that sounds confusing, but it's a single party consent state. That means she can be the single party consenting to the recording. She can't.
And I do understand.
Break when you can, buddy.
And
and as far as the private space goes, I think you're confusing two different laws. You can't trespass and record people. But in order to trespass, you would have told her, you're trespassing, I demand that you leave. That is totally different than saying, don't record me. Because if she's in her home, she can record you. Let's try to get Brad O'Brien on for her. We do have him on. We'll talk to him right after this.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
From the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good for the lunch hour drive. No major difficulties other than rock scaling that continues into the foothills. We've got quite a bit of slowing, in fact, east on I-70 out of Idaho Springs, west coming down Floyd Hill, but the highway is open as of right now. I-25 through downtown's been a little sluggish. Watch for a stall. This is on I-70 eastbound east of Colorado. Looks like right lane affected there. Maybe some slowing, not a real big delay. And 270 is running a little heavy. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Stay connected when it matters most. Be prepared with Rapid Radio's walkie-talkies. With instant push-to-talk and LTE nationwide coverage, you can reach family and friends in any emergency. 100% private, no contracts, no hassle.
Stay safe. Order now at rapidradios.com.
I want you to mark your calendars for the 19th of this month, July, in the DTC Center. I want you to find out more by biggestreturn.com. You're going to learn about the technique to become a landlord without the conventional risks and hassles. That's mybiggestreturn.com. When you go there, you'll find out about the free wealth building event with Tom Martino, me, and Barry Miller. That's July 19th, and you can register on that site. I urge you to do it if you want to learn more about the Vistera Turnkey project to help you become a landlord. 303-888-3788. And believe me, it's not in Colorado. They're in renter, landlord-friendly markets where equity appreciation is at optimum and rents are doing well. 303-888-3788. mybiggestreturn.com. Fixmyhome.com. That's the website for Fix It 24/7. And they want to remind you that they're doing free second opinions on any kind of replacement. Right now, a lot of people are trying to sell air conditioning when you don't need a new air conditioner. You just need the clean, deep clean, check and tune. And fixmyhome.com, book now, can do that for you. Fix It 24/7 doesn't want to replace unless you need it. That's why they're doing free second opinions. Fixmyhome.com, book now. Genesis Total Exteriors. Hey, we were just talking about mold in that place. Do you know Genesis will do testing for mold to see if you have mold and what it will take to get rid of that mold? Genesis Total Exteriors also does kitchens, baths, and basements. And as the name implies, Genesis Total Exteriors does everything on the outside of your house. This is a company, a general contractor you can trust. In an environment where there are a lot of clowns out there, you can trust GenesisTotalExteriors.com. 303-679-8509.
Hi.
Oh, I better go get that food. I have never seen a more immature person in my life. I swear to God, a more immature person does not exist. Hey, I don't know why Little Anita's is not like Little Anitaing me. Oh, wait, it was left. It's already dropped off. So, see, I didn't hear it because of fucking Dragon. Give me all the false alarms.
You're welcome, by the way.
God damn it.
Maybe it's at the clinic.
Yeah, I already fed those people at the clinic a few times, by the way. That wasn't the only time. Now, tomorrow when I'm at the clinic, I'll have it delivered home.
Right. Just so you know, Tom, there's no gas cap on that model Chevy.
Are you shitting me?
It says nothing from 2014 on.
Wait a minute. No gas? What? Really?
Yeah, your BMW probably doesn't have a gas cap.
Oh, yes, it does. Yep.
Oh.
Why? The cap, what you're saying is when you shut the door, it seals it.
Yes.
Mine has an actual cap you remove.
Oh, a twister? Okay.
Yep. I'm looking at this. I want to find this contract.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, it was a link, right?
Yeah, it's a link, but it's like a PDF once you open it.
No, it makes you log in to sign it. It's a DocuSign. I'm not doing it. He didn't send us a copy of the contract. Oh, God almighty.
Hold on. Yep, that's not working. Hold on, I've got some other emails from him here. Hang on.
So it was really there. God, I'm up against the clock again.
All right, I'm sending you some others. This is on the credit situation. doing that. Stop that. All right, check your email again.
.630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino. I want to bring up Brad O'Brien with OLS Law. He's a real estate attorney. And Brad, I want to ask you this straight up, because we get this call all the time. And we really do. Okay? A tenant is in a place and they hate the conditions, and they might have some legitimate concerns. I mean, there might be mold, there might be, plumbing issues, there might be this issue or that issue. I'm not disputing that. Let's say there are issues, but then the tenant wants damages. That's where I think it gets really difficult. Brittany says she has a son who's a transplant patient and has health problems, and she wants to sue the landlord for damages. What is involved in something like that? If someone sat down with you and said, Brad, my lease is up at the end of July or at the end of August, and I want to do a constructive eviction and I want to sue for damages. Tell me what it looks like in an evidentiary way.
Well, the clearest way to make that kind of a case is under the warranty of habitability statute in Colorado, in which there has to be some specific reason why it's not habitable. No heat, no water, mold, termites, that sort of thing. But you have to pursue each of those issues independently. And the statute provides the way for the tenant to give the notice to the landlord, and then the landlord has a certain amount of time to respond. And then if they don't, a tenant can go to court to do a couple of different things under the statute. One, terminate the lease. Two, keep the lease but sue for damages, and also at the same time, sue for adjunctive relief or a court order forcing the landlord to fix the problem. So that's really the way to sue for damages on a habitability issue.
Now, what if you're claiming health problems or consequences or health damages to your kid's health? What would that require?
Well, that's a little bit out of my area because it's really personal injury. That would be a negligence type of a claim. If there's mold in there that was not disclosed and the landlord actually knew about it, perhaps that's a good negligence claim that a personal injury lawyer could help the person with, because goes. No,
I understand. If you made the landlord aware of, let's say, mold, and you said, I saw mold in the apartment, and the landlord did not address the issue, is the landlord responsible? Are you responsible to take action? Where does that stand? I mean, that's a hazy part of the law.
Well, no, that's a clear warranty of habitability issue. Mold is specifically addressed in that statute, and the landlord has a certain amount of time to first do a mold test. They're required to do the mold test before and after the remediation. In the middle, they have to do the remediation. And in the meantime, while the remediation is being done, the statute requires the landlord to put up the tenants in a hotel with a kitchen.
Okay. Now, I said they're not required to test for anything. Now, and you're saying they are required, but that's only after a claim is made. That's what I'm trying to get at. How would Brittany start the procedure that would make the landlord test?
Just a written notification to the landlord that she has a good faith reason to believe that there's mold in there.
And that's all it would take. If she gave written notification that she believes there is mold in the place, that would require the landlord to respond with a test.
Yes.
Okay. And she puts that in writing and says, I believe there is mold here and I demand that it be tested.
Yes.
And then how long does the landlord have to respond to that?
I can't answer off the top of my head. It's a couple of days. It's like 2 days.
Really?
Like
okay. And then now, Brittany, do you have any written record where you demanded a test?
I do, and I have photos that we sent to her.
Good. Now, when was that sent?
January 3rd.
Now, if she sent something way back in January, can she use that now?
Yes. There may be a waiver counter argument that she kind of waived the situation by staying in there so long. I mean, whenever somebody calls me on a mold, it's not really, my first response is not a legal response. It's a health response. Maybe you shouldn't be in there. Maybe you should get out of there right now until the legal aspects can catch up. So obviously,
yeah, but what I'm saying, can they use that against her that she notified them in January but continued to stay there?
Yes, in the sense of perhaps the tenant failed to mitigate her damages. If the injury got worse because of the mold by staying in there for the 5 months or 6 months since January, then that may be something where the tenant is partially responsible for the personal injury that caused during that time.
Brittany, and by the way, Brad O'Brien is at 720-370-7388. Thank you, Brad. Brittany, if you have written documentation that you wrote to the landlord back in January, nothing was done. What I would do, Brittany, is I would look up that statute and I would say, you got to look up that statute that we're talking about. Brad, what's the name of that statute she would look up that requires the landlord to respond?
It's the Colorado Warranty of Habitability Statute.
Now, Brittany, look up Warranty of Habitability Statute. And what I would do, again, I'm not giving you legal advice. I would say, I informed you on such and such a date of this situation and you took no action. I am therefore terminating my lease on such and such a date. Look at the statute for step by step and leave your email, because I did do a step by step help guide on this that I want to send to you. We have more coming right up. How much time do I have?
She doesn't have a place to go yet.
5? Okay.
She can say, I'm going to break the lease.
It's on the counter. Squirrels did not eat any of it. Man, that is so cool. So you didn't get tempted. Not at all.
Brad O'Brien is gone.
Sounds like her landlord just doesn't want to deal with her and
He wants her.
uses the excuse, yeah, my son's going to move in, and I won't have these hassles.
I think I had exceptional luck with the couple rentals I had and people, but I thought once I was going to have to use some sort of excuse. These guys, they kept the place up really good, but it always was annoying me. They were always like 7 to 8 days behind on the rent.
Right.
Always. And luckily back then, hey, I'm not renewing your lease. That's
right.
all it was. But, and that's what I did.
Years ago. Oh, that's change. Yeah. Oh, it's all right. Racing all around us. Okay. Okay. Sure. I'm a little bit of North. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy up there for sure. They're building. So I actually real close, if you remember years ago, there was that in the dark gas line was kind of the house blew up. Yeah. So yeah, that was like 2 blocks. Oh, she people. That was 2 blocks for me. So yeah, my wife she's an accountant. She was working in her office and she fell from the she was like, what was that? She's like, the windows even. Yeah. It's like, She's like, I can feel it on me and stuff. She's like, what is that? Yeah, probably 3 blocks away. So gases, sometimes damage dozens of something. Like no shit. Yeah. So we were okay, but actually my daughter, one of her friends, lived in the house right next door, and it moved the whole house like 2.5 feet. 2.5 feet? Yeah, you can stick your arm down like.
Top secret.
So I don't know.
Drop an F-bomb?
Yeah, about 4 sentences up.
No, I was reading her.
Yeah, about 5 sentences up.
So, but he was not home, thank goodness. He said that the granite countertop, this wall, the granite countertop had moved about 1.5 feet. That house would never be right again. Yeah, dude, that's got to get done. Yeah, it will never be right again. That kid's pretty stuff. Like as far as he's like 20, he's still like has nightmares, I guess. So like, it's blowing up. So, of course, that's yeah.
It's a long day.
Yeah.
Their brothers, they were replacing the hot water heater, and the basement had filled with the gas before they had the agent to it, so you could smell it. So no one had any clue.
Stop.
They got it done. So I let the pilot light the gas.
Yeah. No.
Ryan was in there or something earlier.
He was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so right
see
next
anybody.
to it, and the problem was there's 2 different gas companies, one talking together, and that's what's cut with the pumpkin. It was all kinds of stuff. So, sorry, Tom, just a reminder I have to leave at 1.
Okay. Okay.
Just after 1 year. Right at the top of the hour.
Oh, maybe they're talking.
I'll recap what we wanted to talk about. I want to talk about
So we know about other gases.
Tacos.
80 cents.
Jack in the Box tacos.
Pretty on. Yeah.
what's that?
What we're talking about. The house next door, a couple of blocks blew up from the gas. That house in Firestone that blew up a couple years.
Oh yeah.
7 years ago, that was real close to my house.
Oh really? Wow.
My wife was working at the computer and felt like.
Oh my God! Wow.
I've been going to the same Mexican restaurant for 60 years.
It's pretty nice. It's growing. The hard part is like.
That's great that they've been around that long.
They've moved 3 times, but
wow. You keep finding them. Trying to get
it's
away
a
from
loyal group of
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
You go there, you recognize the same.
Great advice.
Ryan Schuling,
Ryan has strong opinions, and I like that.
Dan Kaplis
And Kaplis, he keeps fighting the good fight.
on Denver's Talk Station.
The station I keep it on.
630 KHOW.
All right, I haven't forgotten about Jeff and his contract. I'm trying to look at that during the breaks, and I will take him. So, Jeff, hang on. But Adam right now has to leave us at the end of the hour with Best Way Insulation. And we talked about there are many discounts available through rebates from power companies. They can help coordinate that. There are also tax credits available for insulating. So you can save a ton of money getting your house up to snuff. Also, we talked about attic fans. They don't always do what you think they're doing. Now, what they're supposed to do is keep the attic from getting too hot. That's what they're supposed to do. But you're saying they don't really work all the time, and you find this a lot in people's houses. Explain how attic fans are short-circuited or defeated.
So the attic fans themselves work really well. And that we're talking about between the roof line and the air out.
Right. So it goes
not a
on
whole
the
house
roof.
fan.
It goes on the roof, and what it's supposed to do is supposed to make convective currents in the attic by drawing air up through the eaves, out through the top. It's supposed to keep that attic at even temperature.
Yeah. Well, what happens a lot, especially with a lot of these, again, door-to-door guys that are going around kind of selling them, is they don't eliminate the box vents that are up there or the gable vent. A lot of roofers put this gable vent across
which is a high vent.
Yeah, and it's right at the very peak of the roof. Well, the problem is if you don't calculate your ventilation correctly, you will pull from the closest, easiest source.
So what you're really doing is with an improperly installed attic fan with not enough venting in the eaves and vents otherwise, you short circuit it. So the air comes right from the top of the roof back into the fan and out again. You're not really circulating air in the attic.
No, you really want to make sure you get the air from those eave vents
So the eave vents are low in the attic. They're even with kind of your ceiling, and the solar fan should be put upper on the top part of the roof. So the solar fans, Excel Roofing does an excellent job of solar fans on the attic. They put in 6 in my home, and it made a huge difference. But that's because when Henry came here and analyzed it, he said, if we put these attic fans in, we need to open up some more vents.
Yes, or even close some that are up there so we don't short circuit the system.
Right. You don't want to short circuit. So you want air coming in from low and being expelled high. You don't want it the other way. Bestwayinsulation.com. That's bestwayinsulation.com. When they're not here, you can reach them at 303-469-0808, 303-469-0808. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up in the Troubleshooter Show, and I promise to talk about my home buying technique to get great deals.
When you get...
Okie doke.
Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate
Hey, man, let me see you out. I'm going to go up.
I was all right on the show for you.
You did a great job, by the way. Didn't he do a great job?
Yeah, so totally natural, and he's kind of very actually alert. List of isolation questions for you. Okay. But the stuff, if you read save that, for next time. It's not for me. It's like Harvey Weinstein. It's a good way for you to show people.
Well, that's different.
Appreciate it.
I'm not gonna go like directly from one to the other.
No segue.
Well, speaking of boobs, Hooters, Lone Tree closing. Not great. Kelly and I love going there.
Who else is sad?
I'd like to meet Bo's sister sometime.
Yeah, I wonder what.
Right, just
I don't know why this happens, but Xfinity's done this twice. They've gone on. They go to that double. When you log in, they got to send you a text message.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't want the double factor on my.
You might be able to turn that off.
Oh, I've done it. Turned it off twice, but it, for some reason, it goes back on. Not right away. About 2 or 3 months later.
Here it comes again.
Yeah.
Rowdy out there.
Yeah.
Could be 100 tomorrow. That's a little hot.
That is a little hot.
Yeah.
Selling the drama, like Live, the band 30 years ago, right there. What?
This is white?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Good afternoon, Tom Martino, sir. I'm good. How are you? Yeah. The majors are not in until tomorrow. I think I told you that. They get in on Wednesday. So I will definitely broach the subject with them when they get in tomorrow morning, and we'll see what's up. I'm not really sure if they're.
Man, that was delicious. And I still have a taco left if you want the inside.
Good, thanks. I'm so glad to hear that you.
Well, tomorrow is not an eating day for sure.
Yeah.
I hate it. God almighty, I fucking hate it. God damn it. So, did you try helping me with the that contract again? Could he get me a copy of it?
All right. I will give you a call tomorrow, okay?
There.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye. So I sent you all the stuff that he sent me.
Yeah.
The last couple emails do have attachments to it, but I don't know if it's
Well, one of them was just a link. It wasn't an attachment.
Well, yeah. That was like the doc.
Listening to Win on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by K&H Home Solutions, which has painting pros now to help you, khwindows.com. And don't forget your insurance checkups with Compass Insurance. Make sure you're not paying too much or you're not underinsured. They do free insurance checkups at theinsurancehelpcenter.com, 996-9000. Hey, so we've been dealing with Jeff, and I've been trying to read this contract. I'm having trouble, but here's the bottom line. I want to recap Jeff's problem. So Jeff called and said he bought a 2018 Chevy Silverado, 157,000 miles on it, never got it checked out. He bought it from Alfred Automotive in Arvada. He said that came with an aftermarket warranty, and at the time of the sale, there were warning lights for trailer brakes. After that, he discovered ABS brakes did not work. Engine is cutting out during acceleration, and there's no gas cap. By the way, there is no gas cap on that model, just so you know. But in any case, there's a problem with acceleration, and there is another problem with his ABS brakes not working. So he wants to know, what are they going to do about it? Here's the bottom line. They don't have to do anything because he bought it as is. But he said maybe he has another way out of this thing. They want him to sign another contract. Now, for the life of me, I don't know why they want him to sign another contract. But here's the bottom line. The original contract calls for him to put $3,000 down, right? Okay. But he actually only had to pay them $1,000. It looks to me like they're trying to doctor the document to show that that this guy has more equity in the deal to sell it to the bank. So they are making it look like he's putting down $3,000 when really he's only putting down $1,000. That's fraud. That's fraud, Jeff. They were asking you to commit fraud. Are you there, Jeff? Okay, I was under the silly impression that he was still there. So let's move on to another problem. Henry, he wants to talk about the recent hailstorms. Henry Brett's from Excel Roofing. And we were also talking about attic fans, by the way, and I wanted to ask him about that. Henry, are you there, sir?
Absolutely, Tom. How are you today?
Good. So listen, man. Have there been has there been hail damage in the metro area?
You know what? We did get a hailstorm, but it was a little lower down in Colorado Springs. We got about 2-inch hail. It's a bunch of tile roofs, so those can be a little bit more complicated than asphalt replacements.
All right. I wanted to ask you about inspections. One thing I want to tell people, they never have to sign anything to get their roof inspected. And many of these companies that come to the door lie to them about that. And they say they have to sign something. What are some of the tricks they use to get people to sign things?
Yeah, so absolutely. And what they say is it's an authorization to meet with your insurance. And what that really is it's a roofing contract. And they often have these big, huge cancellation fees. So that might be a 15, 20. We've even seen cancellation fees as high as 30% of what they estimate your roof replacement is going to be. So at Excel, we have 0 cancellation fees in any of our agreements. And yeah, it's a big thing for consumers to be wary about.
No, I understand that. They trick people into signing, saying, well, you need to sign this, and it gives for liability purposes, so you won't be in trouble if we get hurt on your roof. And whatever they say to you, here's the bottom line. You never have to sign ever anything to get your roof inspected. Bottom line, that's the truth, right, Henry? You don't have to sign anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another thing is if you think you have hail damage, don't call your insurance right away. Have a really good roofing professional go out there, do an evaluation of the roof, and then file an insurance claim based on that.
And you know why we're saying that?
Right away, because
go ahead.
Get a claim on your record.
That's right. Do you realize if you think you have, listen to this, folks, if you think you have hail damage on your roof, you just think you do, because it was in the neighborhood or in the area, and you call your insurance company and they check your roof, even if there is no damage, 0 damage, and no claim, and no payment, what happens? They count it against you. They literally count it against you. So they call it as a claim. They say it is a claim. So, Henry, you've seen that happen. So you can go out and tell them in a few minutes whether they have damage or not. Now, I want to talk to you about something else. I want to talk about the roof, the ceiling, the attic fans. You guys did a lot of them for me. And the purpose of that fan is to draw the air from lower in the attic and expel it through the excess heat outside. And what it does is keep air circulating through your attic. And that's good for both winter and summer because you want to equalize the air in your attic. So when you guys install attic fans as part of a roofing job or someone just wants you to do it, how do you make sure they have the right kind of venting to make sure it's not short-circuiting?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So there's two kinds of vents. There's intake vents and exhaust vents. And the most important thing is that you don't have too much exhaust vent or intake vents, because if you try to do what you're talking about, one of those attic fans, and you have too much exhaust vent, what will happen is it'll pull the air from the exhaust vent back into the attic and then push it back through. So you need to have that suction and that upwards motion so it pulls in from the intake vents and then out through the fan or the exhaust vent.
So sometimes when you install attic fans, you have to get rid of some of those roof vents.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes there'll be some like turtle vents or something like that that are mounted kind of in the middle of the roof, and we will remove those just so we can get those fans installed. And just to clarify for everybody listening, those attic fans, they're not air conditioning units, so they're not going to make the house cooler if your AC isn't working, but it will make your house substantially more efficient. And the cooler you can keep your attic, the cooler your house will be.
Exactly. And that includes even in the wintertime. So you want to do is keep the air moving in your attic. The insulation in your attic will help as well. But it doesn't help keep your house cool. Well, it actually does. By keeping the attic from getting overheated, you don't get that radiant heat. But the main reason is to keep your roof living longer because it's not overheating. And it does help your house to be more evenly efficient. If you're looking to expel hot air from your house, that is what you use the whole house fan, which is distinctly different from an attic fan. An attic fan draws air from the eaves out through the top of the roof. And that's what an attic fan does. It keeps convective currents in the attic to keep the attic temperatures even. That helps reduce heating and cooling bills. But it is not a whole house fan. A whole house fan takes cooler air from below of your house and expels the hottest air out. But if you have a whole house fan and you don't have proper attic insulation, what happens, Henry? What happens?
You know, the proper attic insulation is just going to regulate the temperature, so it could still get very, very hot in the summer and very chilly in the winter. Yeah. So, and also, if you don't have the proper ventilation in the attic, and you're feeding, so you went to my house and said you came to my house and you said you have a great whole house fan, but what was your concern with all the air being sucked out of my house? Well, my two thoughts were, number one, when you're pulling all of that air from your basement all the way through the house and into the attic with that giant fan, there's not enough ventilation to then pull that air out of the attic and then back outside. But then also, it's important that that fan, the whole house fan, only runs when it is cooler outside than inside the house.
Right. And really what's important is you can't pull hot air through the house and out the top of the attic if the attic is not ventilated. So before you even consider a whole house fan, you have to be sure that your attic is well ventilated. Henry, thank you. Excel Roofing as an excellent, E-X-C-E-L, excelroofing.com. Jeff, back to Jeff right after this. Listen, I am trying to help Jeff out. We're trying to figure out his contract. Did you see the contract?
Yeah.
You did see
Yeah,
the,
Tom, I followed.
okay, let's talk about it after the break.
Contract and the financing, I read the whole shebang.
Okay, good. We're going to talk about that because I don't think we can get him out based on the problems with the vehicle because he just walked into this. He walked into this hook, line, and sinker and bought a piece of crap. He bought a piece of crap believing the warranty was going to work. Okay? We have more on that coming up.
What's the biggest mistake you could make when selling your home? Settling for less money. Not with Orchard. Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. Then they sell your old home on the market for top dollar. One customer said, I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. Don't settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar with Orchard. Get your free home valuation at orchard.com. Orchard.com.
TheArtOfGranite.com. That's where you can get granite countertops. With a phone call, you can find out the price. But not just granite. Any natural stone or any man-made material. TheArtOfGranite.com. You're about 3 weeks away from having your finished countertops in most cases. They come out in template once. That's it. They give you a price on the phone. If it sounds good to you, they come out in template once. Then when they come back, they install it. Think about how great that is. Tear out and haul away is free, and the bathroom is free when you have the kitchen done. Plus, they have free incentives like edge treatments, backsplashes, sinks. Call them for your price right now. They're proud of their deals. No matter what your material, call them now. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. TheArtOfGranite.com. Okay. So, let's see. Jesus.
Now, usually around this time, see that black cloud out.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe we're on the wrong side of the. I mean, we are on the wrong side of the building. But.
It just goes that way. It seems.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's like it's headed to DIA from my house. You know, you get. I haven't got a weather severe alert today. But
no, I haven't.
The AutoNation. What did we talk? What did we do with Logan with that AutoNation thing?
Oh, so
I'm going to follow up with him, Tom.
Dollar is going to call AutoNation and get their perspective.
Deputy Dollar, did you call AutoNation yet?
Not yet.
All right, thanks.
We can
Yep.
ask him. What's your first name?
And then Jeff with the Chevy Silverado we're working on right now.
I read the whole deal.
I got it.
All right, hang on for me.
You know, whatever I order online, I got to divide in half, no matter what I do. I just can't eat what I think I can eat.
I don't think I spelled that right.
Read mine. Secret says that Bo has a swamp cooler.
Oh, yeah?
And I said, really? You gotta be kidding. I guess she has this one.
I'll take Rich coming out of the break, then go to Jeff.
Your insulation guy is gone, right?
Yep, but I can still answer questions.
Okay.
Questions on is that pain down your legs from
Yep.
your back?
Yep.
Tacos again.
Such a fucking moron.
DoorDash.
Such a fucking moron.
You all right there, Tom?
Oh, no, I'm fine. You?
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
I wonder if anyone has a number 2 problem.
It's true.
I can't go number 2 anymore.
Oh. Yeah, there you go. There.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
I like the other one. Got the.
She was a big minority woman.
There we go.
Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. 630 K-How, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Rich has a question. We're going to go back to Jeff. Promise you, Deputy D read the contract over and has some answers as to why they might want him to sign a new one. But I want to go to Rich, who just called in about sciatica. Go ahead, Rich. What's going on with you?
Oh, hi, Tom. I've listened to you forever.
Thank you,
Anyway, I've been having you're welcome. I've been having sciatic issues for years, and I've taken gabapentin, and the guy wants to do back surgery on me and says I wouldn't be able to play golf for a year. So I thought you had an operation similar to that, and it went really well.
Well, I had an operation that was in place of fusion. You see, the current state of events is, or state of the industry is, fusion is the go-to, where they take anything.
I know, I hate it.
Yeah, well, fusion, unfortunately, here's the issue. Fusion fails most of the time. It gives you relief from 1 to 3 years, and then it fails. And then you have to do more fusion, and then they fail. And then basically, fusion has its limitations, okay? Fusion will immediately give you relief, immediately, because it's going to fuse and take away the rubbing of the nerve and the pinching of the nerve, but it will fuse those together with a cage, and you won't have the mobility ever again, ever. The mobility will always be lost in those levels of discs. Then, and vertebra. Then, the adjacent facet joints above and below the fusion have extra strain on them, and then they start failing inevitably. In fact, it's not if, it's when. That's the state of back surgery. The thing I had done was in place of fusion. And what it does is puts a movable joint in where the bad joint was. So you have full mobility. Okay, so they basically remove the facet joints and discs in that area and replace it with a titanium silicone implant. And that implant will never, ever, ever be arthritic, and it will never cause undue stress on the adjacent vertebra or the adjacent facet joints because it moves. It becomes, for lack of a better term, part of an artificial spine. I mean, it's an implant, okay? It's on the exterior part of the facet joint, but it takes over for that part of the back. Okay? It just does. And 100% pain-free since I've had it done. The problem is the Premia Spine Company and the procedure I had is called TOPS, TOPS. The problem is it is only FDA approved at this point in America for one level, meaning if you have 3 or 4 levels of bad joints, you can't put in 3 or 4 of these together. They're only approved for one at a time. So you can put in one lower and one a little higher, but you can't put them in back to back. Did you understand what I'm saying? You can't, for example,
perfectly, yeah.
You can't string along three of them for three bad joints, but you can put one in, let's say, L4, L5, and then one up at a higher, if you skip a few. Here's the thing. How many bad levels do you have?
I think it's just L4, L5.
That's the number. That's what I had. And this TOPS procedure, the TOPS procedure was done for me. Absolutely, positively done. Now, even though it's FDA approved, and I had it approved, by the way, I had my surgery approved by Medicare and my supplement. A lot of insurance companies are still calling it experimental, which is BS, by the way, because it is not experimental. It is a fully approved procedure. So you might have to fight with your insurance. I don't know what insurance do you have?
I've got Medicare, and my supplement is.
You should have no problem.
United Health.
You should have no problem with Medicare. You shouldn't have a problem with Medicare. I'm saying that's what I had. Now listen. The problem. Let me tell you something else about it. First of all, where are you going right now? Did they even know about the TOPS procedure?
Well, I haven't been to the doctor for about a year and a half. I have to go see him just to get my gabapentin renewed next week. I'm going to see.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest to you that you look up Dr. Joshua Beckman.
Joshua
Beckman, Beckman. Okay. Now
I will.
He used to be at St. A's, but they moved. His practice moved. I believe the name of the practice. God, I should know this by heart because he saved my life as far as pain goes. I believe it's Neurosurgery 1 is the name of the practice.
Well, that's the place I'm going.
Good. Then you're going to love them.
Neurosurgery. Well, I've been to this guy, but maybe it's not that doctor, but it's Neurosurgery 1 in Parker that I'm going.
Okay, so ask him about the TOPS procedure and ask him about Josh, and just ask him. I mean, these guys all work together.
I will.
And you're going to be
I will do that.
You're going to be so happy, man. Rich, you're going to be so happy. Honest to God,
well, it's 76. I hope so.
Now, let me tell you what else that Dr. Beckman has been doing, which is ingenious. So let's say you have more than one level done, more level bad, and you need a fusion. What he's done is fused together, let's say, 3 facets, right? And to take away the failure rate of the fusion, he has placed the implant above and below the fusion. Now, when you think about how ingenious that is, you get the fusion you need where you need it in multiple levels, but to keep the adjacent facets from failing, he puts in the TOPS above and below it. Think about how ingenious that is.
Okay.
So anyway, by the way, Premia Spine people are good at getting back to you if you ever go to their website and you need more referrals. I hope that works out for you, bro.
You got to stand outside. I think I'm losing you.
All right. No, I'm just saying I got to go anyway. So Jeff's up next.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro. We're going to a break right now. Would you please put him on hold, guys? Use your common sense.
With Tom, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Tom, we're losing you.
Oh, you're losing me. Hello?
Tom was breaking up.
Okay, hope you.
Am I there? Can you hear me now?
We're actually having some technical difficulties.
Can you hear me now?
So,
maybe that's why.
Testing.
Great.
I got to redo this. Nope. It's not connected.
Mariana I-25 north.
All right, can you hear me now?
Semi in the center lane at 6th Avenue with stop and go back.
Can you hear me now?
Looking at some pretty.
There you are.
Okay, I somehow blacked out. I had to redo it.
Well, just south of there, crash remains at Santa Fe South.
No worries.
It does look like
Sorry.
starting to improve. Hopefully clear soon.
Are you good for your spots here?
I think so. My broadband is farting up,
It's
man.
the new Superman Cake
Let's
Batter
just get
Cookie
through
Dough
it.
Blizzard treat. Now at participating DQ locations for a limited time.
Tom?
Day for
I'm
this
here.
cosmic collision of flavor. And don't
Do you
miss
hear me?
Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ.
Do you hear me?
Say something.
QC Colorado.
Pain that won't quit, trapped in an endless loop of stick injections.
Can you hear me?
Did you reboot there, my friend?
All right, I'll reboot.
Michael Brown here.
God almighty. Motherfuck God almighty.
Life-changing results.
Hello, are you
Their
there?
cutting-edge selling